The unexpected interlude didn't affect Lu Chaochao's mood. Instead, she had a very enjoyable hot pot meal with Ji Yanli. Even after returning home, she still felt like she hadn't had enough and said, "Let's eat like this at home from now on too." How could Ji Yanli not indulge her? "Okay, anything you want. As long as Cao Cao is happy." Tonight, the little one was so excited that she didn't fall asleep until 2 o'clock. She wouldn't know that after she woke up. Everyone who deserved a lesson would have received their due punishment. Chapter 57, Simple Revenge, November 10th. This was destined to be an unforgettable day. While Lu Chaochao was still asleep, some people had already begun to face misfortune. Lu Yunting rushed to the company in a hurry. All the executives had gathered in the meeting room, where they could see his bloodshot eyes, clenched fists, and a voice so hoarse it was barely recognizable. He stared at everyone with suspicion in his gaze. Who on earth leaked the information about the raw materials? Who was it? Bang! That was the sound of documents being slammed onto the conference table. No one dared to speak at this moment, let alone challenge Lu Yunting in his fury. And the reason Lu Yunting was so angry was simply because he had just received a call from his assistant the moment he woke up. "President Lu, it's bad news. The news about our contract termination with Manhua Manor has been leaked online. Many people are now aware of how the raw materials affect the rose essential oil. What should we do?" On Weibo, OMG, they changed the raw materials. Can the Luyan products still be the same? No idea. But ever since the hot pot place downstairs switched suppliers, I've never gone back. TSK. Dear Glow still wants to run a 20% off promotion in January. Capitalists really do have black hearts and livers. Even the comment sections of the A-list celebrities endorsing Dear Glow were flooded with online attacks. Their competitors even directly bought trending spots to push this issue to the top of the charts. The high society ladies who adore Dear Glow were the first to hear the news, spending millions annually on their skincare. They absolutely cannot tolerate any issues with the products they use on their faces, so they immediately called Dear Glow's headquarters. The reception and customer service departments were bombarded with endless complaints as soon as they started work, but they had no idea how to explain the situation. After the wound on Xiao Jingxian's forehead healed, she finally dared to invite a few high society ladies from her circle to go shopping and have coffee. In the past, even if they secretly disliked someone, they would still maintain a facade of harmony, pretending to get along on the surface. After all, Xiao Jingxian was Lu Yunting's legitimate wife, and Lu Yan's products were notoriously hard to come by. They had always treated her with a mix of flattery and deference. But with today's scandal, coupled with Lu Yan's delayed PR response and the spread of vague rumors in elite circles, these women, who had always looked down on Xiao Jingxian's background, now openly mocked her, leaving her utterly humiliated. Here we are, in a cafe where only those who've spent over $1 million can enter. Several society ladies are elegantly sipping their first cup of coffee for the day, and Xiao Jingxian has also regained her poised and graceful demeanor. Draped in the latest Chanel coat, with a classic Dior handbag on the table, she holds a cup of coffee and takes a slow, deliberate sip. Her movements refined and dignified. "Mrs. Lu, your coffee etiquette has improved so much. It's hard to believe you used to spit it out after just one sip. People really do change a lot as they age, don't they?" Xiao Jingxian's face nearly lost its composure, barely managing to maintain her smile. "Yes, Mrs. Lu, I heard that when you and Mr. Lu got together, his original wife was still around. Were you aware of this situation at the time?" Xiao Jingxian's face completely twisted in anger as she shrieked. "How is that possible? Who's spreading such nonsense? Come now, Mrs. Lu, we're just chatting. No need to get so worked up." The society ladies thoroughly enjoyed watching Xiao Jingxian's expression change. Their husbands are all CEOs or directors of this or that company, with family fortunes so vast they could never spend it all in several lifetimes. For men with money, infidelity is absolutely inevitable, which is why these high society wives particularly despise mistresses, and Xiao Jingxian just happened to be a mistress who successfully upgraded to a wife in the past. People flattered and fawned over her because they needed something from her. But now, Mrs. Lu, I heard your daughter followed in your footsteps and stole the engagement of the original wife's daughter. Is that true? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. My daughter and the Shu family's young master are completely innocent. Just because Qingqing is outstanding and attracts the pursuit of young gentlemen, you can't just throw mud at her like this. Xiao Jingxian's face turned extremely grim. And the gathering naturally ended on a sour note. She left in a hurry, her expression dark with anger. Lu Qingqing felt unusual gazes on her at school today. As soon as she sat down in the classroom, her roommate walked up to her and said, "Lu Qingqing, the group members and I have decided to remove you from our group. From now on, you'll have to complete group assignments on your own. Don't contact us in the group chat anymore." Lu Qingqing was almost speechless. Frowning, she asked, "Did I do something wrong? Why are you kicking me out? Without my financial support, can you even complete the assignments alone?" The group leader in front of her was nearly furious. "What financial support? Lu Qingqing, do you think buying us milk tea or treating us to hot pot during group assignments makes you so great? Do you expect us to cry with gratitude and thank you? You never participated in any group assignments, and because of you dragging us down. Do you know how many all-nighters we had to pull to finish the teacher's assignments? If you think dating is more important, then don't stay in the finance department. Anyway, our group can't afford to carry your dead weight. The teacher already agreed, and I'm just politely informing you. Goodbye. Oh, by the way, please pay your share of the dorm water bill. You always use the most water when showering." As soon as the group leader left, the area around Lu Qingqing fell dead silent. Lu Qingqing's face twisted with anger, her freshly done nails snapping off from sheer pressure. The hatred radiating from her eyes made everyone else too afraid to approach. Is this still the same Lu Qingqing, the gentle, polite, and generous finance department belle? Why hasn't the group assignment been done? Why hasn't she even paid her share of the dorm's water bill? Lu Qingqing bit her lip, trembling with anger. She didn't know what kind of madness had possessed the group leader early in the morning. All she knew was that once she became Lu Yang's heir, once she married into the Shu family, she would make them all regret it. She would have every company in the capital within their reach blacklist them. They only deserved to return to some backwater small town, marry a man, have 2 children, be disliked by their mother-in-law, and suffer domestic violence from their husband. Lu Qingqing was so angry that her breathing became erratic. Unable to bear the strange looks from her classmates in the classroom any longer, she grabbed her phone and hurriedly rushed to the bathroom. She was going to call Brother Zun and ask him to avenge her. As soon as Lu Qingqing entered the bathroom and sat down on the toilet, pulling out her phone, a black bucket appeared above her head, and icy water poured down over her. Lu Qingqing let out the loudest scream of her life. Flailing her arms in panic, her heart filled with terror as she cursed wildly. Yet the person pouring water didn't stop at all. A full 10 buckets of ice-cold water were poured over her head. By the time she could open her eyes, those who had harmed her had already vanished. At that moment, an identical scene seemed to flash in her mind, except this time, she was the one pouring the water. Lu Qingqing's heart was in turmoil, utterly terrified, shivering uncontrollably. She tugged at the bathroom door but couldn't pry it open. The brand new fruit phone she just bought was instantly ruined the moment cold water poured over it. She hugged her drenched body tightly, tears streaming down her face in large drops. What on earth happened today? How could she encounter such a thing? When Lu Chaochao woke up in her spacious, bright bed, she heard her phone incessantly pinging with notifications, rubbing her eyes and yawning. She opened QQ to find that the person who had added her was actually from her middle school group chat. She opened it in confusion, only to find the entire group chat flooded with messages from Tian Yu and the others. Lu Chaochao, we're sorry, so sorry, please forgive us for what we did before. It was all Lu Qingqing who made us do it. You must forgive us. Lu Chaochao was utterly bewildered. Just as she was about to reply, another video suddenly appeared in the group. She clicked to play it and was shocked to see a video of Lu Qingqing being drenched with several buckets of ice water, more disheveled, more numerous, and colder than her past self. Chapter 58. She almost died at 16 or 17. With just one video, Lu Chaochao knew it must have been Ji Yanli who did this. Fresh out of bed, she couldn't help but laugh with reddened eyes. So this is what it feels like to be protected. Back when she was bullied by Lu Qingqing and her gang, she would hide under the covers every night, tears streaming down her face as she bit into the blanket, swearing in her heart that she would get her revenge and make them regret what they had done to her. Yet year after year passed, and she kept falling into Lu Qingqing's traps, powerless to protect herself. Even during the college entrance exams, she was still outmaneuvered by her. Not only missing the chance to attend a prestigious university but also losing the opportunity to study the major she had dreamed of. And now, just because of a dream, Ji Yanli could go to such lengths for her. He probably did it out of disdain, but to help her vent her anger, he still took action. Lu Chaojiao covered her chest, feeling her rapidly beating heart, then gently touched her belly. "Baby, your dad is a super big hero. In the future, he will definitely protect you and make you the happiest child in the world, without exception." Because today, she discovered that Ji Yanli was fiercely protective of his own. However, the online drama was far from over. When Lu Chaojiao was called by Aunt Wang to have breakfast, she held her phone in one hand and a spoon in the other. Eating while watching those people face their misfortunes brought her immense satisfaction. For example, the negative news about Luyan Company on Weibo couldn't be taken down at all. The more they tried to suppress it, the more it spread, until the topic itself crashed the platform. Lu Jiaojiao grinned from ear to ear, thoroughly amused by the situation. Now that things had escalated to this point, she was eager to see how Lu Yunting would explain himself to the board of directors. Would the next quarter's sales figures even be worth looking at, without Lu Yunting bringing in massive profits? How would the freeloaders in the Lu family continue to live off the family's wealth? Would Xiao Jingxian still be able to play the part of a high society lady, indulging in beauty treatments and casual card games? And what about Lu Qingqing? Could she still maintain her wealthy heiress persona at school? Lu Chaojiao was full of questions, but she grew increasingly delighted as she read the comments on Weibo. The QQ group chat for her middle school class had been muted. Yet people kept sending her private messages. Tianyu was hiding in a closet, her hair disheveled, a slap mark on her face, and even blood trickling from the corner of her mouth. Frantic and desperate, she kept sending messages to Lu Chaojiao on her phone. Lu Chaojiao. "It was Lu Qingqing who made me put mice in your blanket and pour ink. It was all her doing. Woo-woo, please spare my dad's company. I really know I was wrong." Lu Chaojiao recalled those past days. It was nothing short of a nightmare. She attended the same middle school as Lu Qingqing and Xu Jiaxuan, where students progressed directly from junior high to senior high, completing 6 years of education there. She started boarding at school from the age of 10. And it was also around that time when Lu Qingqing began appearing everywhere in her life. Lu Qingqing stole her homework and falsely accused her of not completing it. After several incidents, the teacher came to believe she was a habitual liar. During the exam, she threw a small note to her feet, and after a few times, she became the queen of cheating again. Similar incidents were countless, with Tianyu being Lu Qingqing's accomplice. Her quilt was perpetually damp. Her bed always had filth when uncovered, and even her clothes frequently ended up in the trash. By high school, her underwear was even hidden in a male classmate's desk drawer. And from then on, rumors about her spread like wildfire throughout the school. In the eyes of every classmate, she seemed to be the kind of slut who relied on her beauty to seduce all the boys, a filthy person. As for teachers who helped her, of course, there was one. She still remembered a very gentle math teacher who taught her for only 1 semester before being driven away by Lu Qingqing, because Lu Qingqing secretly spread rumors that she was seducing the math teacher, and that the math teacher was also interested in flirting with his student. The school was embroiled in a scandal of teacher-student romance. Lu Yunting, in front of the school's faculty, slapped her twice and kicked her, forcibly demanding the school expel the math teacher. No matter how she explained it, to others it was just lies told for the sake of love. Don't think that 16 or 17-year-olds are so innocent. Sometimes, it's precisely this kind of pure, simple malice that can kill a person. Lu Chaojiao almost died at 16 or 17. Fortunately, she survived, lived to this day, and met Ji Yanli. Lu Qingqing was shivering so hard in the bathroom that her teeth chattered, and just as she was about to faint, someone let her out, clenching her teeth. She found the school authorities and demanded they check the surveillance footage. She wanted to find out who had harmed her and make them pay. The school administrators could only laugh awkwardly and firmly said, "Lu Qingqing, everyone knows about your situation at school. Sometimes, you shouldn't just think about others bullying you, but also consider whether you've done anything harmful to your classmates recently." Lu Qingqing had heard similar words before, but such remarks shouldn't have been directed at her in the first place. She screamed hysterically, "Do you know who my father is?" "Oh, who is it?" "Li Gang, Wang Gang." "Student Lu Qingqing. Do you think Tsinghua is some shady school your family owns?" The school leader's face darkened immediately. Lu Qingqing got scared and walked out in a daze, utterly disheartened. The cold wind outside pierced through her, making her shiver uncontrollably. After a sudden sneeze, her vision blurred, and she collapsed unconscious in the hallway. Lu Chaojiao knew Lu Yunting was in for bad luck, so she happily drank 2 bowls of porridge without feeling nauseous at all. This made Aunt Wang so thrilled that she couldn't stop praising her. "Chaojiao, you're amazing today. You finished 2 whole bowls, let's keep it up at lunchtime." Who gets praised just for drinking some porridge? Lu Chaojiao thought so, but she still felt quite pleased. She muted all the private messages on QQ. No matter how many were sent, she simply wouldn't read them. Tian Yu and the others were eventually beaten bloody by their own father, stunned. They listened to his furious roars. "Do you think you're invincible? How dare you offend the Ji family? Are you out of your minds? Out of your minds?" Chairman Ji said. "Since you all hate studying so much and prefer gossiping, you might as well get married. Once you're married, you'll learn what can and can't be said." At this moment, they truly understood that some sins are not left unpunished, it's just that the time hasn't come yet. At 5:30 in the afternoon, Ji Yanli turned off his computer right on time, picked up his phone to text Lu Chaojiao, and walked out of the office door holding the freshly delivered roses. Just in time to run into his assistant, Ju, who was in charge of scheduling his itinerary. "Boss, what's this?" Assistant Ju asked, holding his tablet with a puzzled look. Ji Yanli glanced at him. "It's time for me to clock out." From now on, he didn't want to work overtime anymore. Watching Ji Yanli's retreating figure, Assistant Ju had a bad feeling. The workaholic boss was actually leaving on time. Chapter 59, I Believe in My Jiao Jiao. Just because Ji Yanli stopped working overtime didn't mean the other employees did. For the first time, the staff at Ji Corporation saw their big boss leaving with a bouquet of roses, and their astonishment was beyond words. "Oh heavens! What kind of beauty must this woman be to captivate even our aloof and unapproachable CEO? Whether she's beautiful or not is unclear, but she must be an incredibly formidable woman with strong tactics to have conquered CEO Ji. TSK. She'll probably enjoy endless wealth and luxury from now on." Meanwhile, the supposedly formidable Lu Chaojiao was still at home, learning how to make soup from Aunt Wang. When it comes to regions known for excellent soup making, Guangdong Province is the best. Cantonese cuisine is particularly outstanding. There's a whole philosophy behind which soups nourish which parts of the body. Aunt Wang explained the key points to Lu Chaojiao. Lu Chaojiao, drooling, asked Aunt Wang if it was ready yet. "It'll be done in another half hour. Go watch some TV in the living room." Just as Lu Chaojiao was about to skip away, Aunt Wang reminded her, "Chaojiao, don't walk by jumping." She stuck out her tongue. Surprised that even her walking style had been noticed, Aunt Wang shook her head helplessly. Still just a child. "I wonder what her young master is really thinking. When will he bring her home?" If the elders of the Ji family knew that the young master was about to have an heir, they would be overjoyed. Aunt Wang sighed. She was just a cook and servant. Of course she couldn't interfere in the master's affairs. But after decades, she had developed feelings for them. Watching Ji Yanli grow up, she saw him no differently than her own child, after spending so much time with Lu Chaojiao. She also knew she was a good girl, not some gold-digging, shameless woman. But because she was too naive, too trusting, seeing her wholeheartedly trust her young master. She also worried that the young master wouldn't let Lu Chaomu down. She mumbled this to herself. but didn't dare to ask, and there was no one to discuss it with, so she could only keep it buried in her heart. She was just glad that her young master wasn't a bad person, even if they didn't get married in the end. He probably wouldn't mistreat Lu Chaomu financially. Thinking this, she felt much better. Ji Yanli would never know that while he was rushing home, covered in dust. Aunt Wang was in the kitchen doubting his character. Lu Chaochao lay leisurely on the sofa, swinging her bare feet while watching the latest variety show, bursting into laughter from time to time. Her infectious giggles even made Aunt Wang unable to resist joining in with a silly smile. Just then, the doorbell rang. Lu Chaochao immediately sat up and dashed barefoot toward the entrance, exclaiming, "It must be Iron coming back." "Chaochao, slow down," Aunt Wang called out urgently. As the door swung open, Lu Chaochao was greeted by Ji Yanli's devastatingly handsome face, so striking it could stir envy among gods and mortals alike, along with a vibrant bouquet of red roses. "Ah Yang, you're back. I missed you too, but don't run like that next time. Look, you're not even wearing shoes." Ji Yanli heard Aunt Wang's voice, and his temples throbbed violently. The little one was constantly testing his nerves. "The heating is on at home, and there's a warm carpet." "I don't need to wear shoes," Lu Chaochao said, afraid that Ji Yanli would keep scolding her for running too fast. "Ah Yang, I missed you. Did you miss me? If I don't miss you, who else would I give these roses to?" Lu Chaochao stuck out her tongue as she took the roses. The roses from Manhua Manor are so fragrant." Ji Yanli watched Lu Chaochao like this. How could he not miss his little one? If it weren't for his busy work temporarily distracting him, he would have long since rushed home, holding his little one to watch TV and feeding her, which would be the most wonderful thing. Thinking about it this way, work doesn't seem all that important anymore. Consider that he joined the company at 20, took over his father's position entirely by 25, and for a full decade, his total rest time hasn't even added up to a month. Calculating it like this feels like such a raw deal. He's almost tempted to push his father back into the workforce. Otherwise, his father spending all day accompanying his mother seems way too comfortable. He's feeling a bit resentful about the imbalance. Ji Yanli thought so in his heart, but said gently, "Your happiness is my greatest joy." Lu Chaochao felt a bit shy because of these words and placed the roses on the dining table. "Look, doesn't this make dinner feel especially romantic?" Ji Yanli nodded. If you really like them that much, I can have them leave all the flowers in the estate for you to use in foot soaks or baths. Can I use them to make skincare products then?" Lu Chaoxiao's major was originally in this field, but most students simply don't have the capability to research new formulas. But Lu Chaoxiao could. Perhaps she was born to bring glory to the Sheng family's business. However, fate had other plans. Before she could grow up and showcase her talents, Sheng Yu Company was taken over by Lu Yunting. "It's truly a regrettable matter." "Of course you can. Just let me know how much you need, and I'll have someone deliver it to you." Lu Chaojiao had always kept a secret recipe, which she had been quietly researching for a long time. Currently, the only people who knew about it were Ding Shu and her friends. "You don't need much, just a little is enough. I once made a toner that's perfect for people with dry skin, and most importantly, it's incredibly effective at treating acne." Her roommate loved eating hot pot, but would always break out in pimples afterward, red, swollen, and very painful. So she experimented by combining roses with some medicinal herbs and used the school's equipment during a practical class to make 2 bottles of toner. She never expected the results to be so impressive. From then on, Ding Shu and her friends no longer had to worry about eating hot pot. Ji Yanli led the little one to sit on the stool, then went to the sofa to fetch her slippers, helping her put them on and draping a blanket over her legs. Feeling her warm hands reassured him. "Chaochao, you can do whatever you like. I'll message Assistant Ju later to have the empty room downstairs converted into your lab. Once it's ready, you can apply for a patent and register a brand name." "Chaochao, have you ever thought about selling the products you make?" Lu Chaochao opened her mouth wide, pointing at herself in astonishment. "Can the things I make really be sold?" "No way." Lu Chaochao, who had been feeling inferior for too long, couldn't even imagine that the product she made could actually be sold. "How is that possible?" "Iron, No one would buy a product made by a student, people would suspect it's some unverified or shady product. No one would be willing to spend money on it. Ji Yanli asked Lu Zhaozhao to look into his eyes seriously. Zhaozhao, don't underestimate yourself, okay? Since you could develop the secret formula, it means you have talent in this area. If the product is good, why wouldn't people buy it? The man loved his little one to shine as brightly as the sun. I'll help you, but, you haven't even used my product. What if the effect isn't that good? Lu Zhaozhao spoke haltingly, showing she still doubted herself. Because I believe in my Zhaozhao, Ji Yanli patted her head, and even if the effect isn't great, so what? You're still young. You can keep learning and improving. I believe you'll definitely create the best products in the future. Chapter 60. The Ji family's affection. Ji Yanli's words moved Lu Zhaozhao deeply. As she gazed into his eyes, she saw nothing but trust, filling her with an unprecedented sense of fulfillment. Excitement surged through her, as if all the blood in her body had rushed to her brain, leaving her utterly exhilarated. All right. Then I'll focus on perfecting the product so it can be launched for sale in the future. Just then, Aunt Wang came out carrying soup. With age came the tendency to nag. Hard work is important, but don't overexert yourself. You need proper rest too, Auntie Wang. I understand now. Lu Zhaozhao cooed to Auntie Wang. Auntie, you're so good to me. How about I develop a great product in the future to make you feel 18 again? Her exaggerated words made Auntie Wang laugh, deepening the wrinkles at the corners of her eyes. Ha ha ha, Zhaozhao is just adorable. Then Auntie Wang will be waiting for your youth-restoring product. Quick, try the chicken soup I stewed today. I added a lot of mushrooms, it's so fragrant. Lu Zhaozhao woke up this morning craving chicken soup, and Auntie Wang couldn't possibly deny her. After simmering it all day, the aroma of this soup is absolutely intoxicating. Ji Yanli took the chicken soup, and after Auntie Wang finished serving the dishes, she took her own portion back to her bedroom. It wasn't that Ji Yanli minded her eating at the table, it was simply that she didn't want to interrupt the couple's intimate moment. Sure enough, as soon as Auntie Wang left, Ji Yanli lifted Lu Zhaozhao into his arms. Settling her on his lap, he enveloped her completely, holding the bowl in one hand and a spoon in the other. Try the soup and see how it tastes. Lu Zhaozhao felt a bit shy being so intimately close to Ji Yanli, but she couldn't bear to let go of the warmth. Gathering her courage, she took a sip of the chicken soup from his hand. Be careful, it's hot. Lu Zhaozhao shook her head, then nodded, her eyes sparkling like stars. Oh my, Aunt Wang's chicken soup is absolutely delicious. It's perfect. Aunt Wang's Buddha jumps over the wall is even better. I'll have her make it for you when we have time. Back at the old family home, the elders of the Ji family especially loved having a bowl of Buddha jumps over the wall in the dead of winter. The aroma alone could linger for 3 days, and the flavor was so rich you'd want to swallow your tongue along with it. Aunt Wang is amazing. She can cook any cuisine. Over the past period, unless Lu Zhaozhao specifically requested, Aunt Wang never repeated a dish. You're amazing too, eat more if you like it. Ji Yanli fed the little one a bite of rice, his heart in his throat until he saw she didn't spit it out. Relieved, no nausea today. Lu Zhaozhao nodded. Aunt Wang said she studied the recipes your mom used when she was pregnant with you, so she tried making them for me. They're okay, I don't feel like throwing up anymore. She felt a bit shy mentioning Ji Yanli's mom. Ji Yanli raised an eyebrow. Who is this auntie? Lu Zhaozhao pouted. Of course, it's Yang's mom. My mom will be your mom from now on too. Hearing this, Lu Zhaozhao's cheeks flushed pink. The older man fed her a bite of mushrooms while continuing to tease her. It seems our little Zhaozhao really enjoys her future mother-in-law's recipes. If my mom finds out, she'll probably be so happy she could jump to the roof. Yang, can you stop teasing me? Lu Zhaozhao couldn't bear to hear such words. Her little pink fists packed quite a punch, but not only did Ji Yanli not feel any pain, his body actually tingled with delight. What can I do? Seeing your blushing face just makes me want to tease you. Ji Yanli spoke his mind. Upon hearing this, Lu Zhaozhao tilted her head and said, if you keep teasing me, I won't talk to you anymore. The old man saw that the little one was truly angry and lowered his stance to slowly coax her. Such scenes would become more frequent in the future. And he never tired of repeating them. All right, it's all Ayang's fault. You can hit me, but you must eat. What if the baby gets hungry? Lu Chaochao had always been prone to softening her heart. With just a few more words of coaxing from Ji Yanli, all her anger would dissipate. Fine, Ayang, you eat too. Good. How about we take turns? One bite each. The young couple sharing a bowl, taking turns for each bite. If there were one more person watching, the sweetness would be enough to make your teeth ache. After dinner, Ji Yanli took the little one for a slow walk around the house. Lu Chaochao, full and lazy, really didn't want to move. After just 10 minutes, she pouted. I want to sit on the sofa and watch TV. Ji Yanli frowned. You've only taken 2,000 steps on WeChat today. You need to walk at least 3,000 steps daily. Lu Chaojiao pouted. But I'm tired. At that moment, Aunt Wang peeked out from the kitchen. Young master, Chaojiao helped me cook during the day, so she's probably had enough exercise. Why don't you just watch some TV with her? Ji Yanli sighed heavily in response to Aunt Wang. Aunt Wang, you're the one who told me to bring Chaojiao home early. Look how much you're spoiling her. If I really take her back, my grandparents and parents will dote on her even more. They'd definitely give her whatever she asks for. If she wants the stars, they wouldn't give her the moon. If she doesn't feel like walking, they'd probably let her ride a wheelchair around the house. Aunt Wang withdrew somewhat resentfully. If the great-grandfather and great-grandmother found out that Lu Chaojiao was carrying the Ji family's flesh and blood, they would surely dote on her excessively. Probably. It meant Lu Chaojiao wouldn't have to lift a finger anymore. Most likely, Ji Yanli still couldn't resist Lu Chaojiao and returned to the living room, letting her catch up on variety shows. But before even 2 minutes had passed, she received a group message on WeChat. Lu Chaochao, you didn't attend class last week. We've already completed the group assignment. But for next Monday's presentation, could you be the one to present? Only then did Lu Chaochao remember that they indeed worked on assignments in groups. Some were responsible for gathering materials, some for making the PowerPoint, and others for presenting. Having missed so many classes, she couldn't complete the assignment, so the presentation naturally fell to her. Lu Chaochao, can you come back to class on Monday? If you can't make it, it might affect your regular grades. Lu Chaochao was startled. College students dread having their regular grades deducted the most, as it directly affects their credits. You know, her whole demeanor instantly soured, and she looked up at Ji Yanli with pitiful eyes, saying, Ayang, I want to go back to school for classes on Monday. Ji Yanli's voice turned grave as he responded, Is it absolutely necessary? How could he possibly feel at ease about this? How could he? The little one tends to get into trouble the moment you take your eyes off her. Can he really trust her to go to school safely? Lu Chaochao tugged at Ji Yanli's sleeve. I promise I won't get hurt. I'll protect myself, she said. Ji Yanli looked at the pitiful expression on the little one's face and realized how cruel it would be to keep a 20-year-old girl confined at home. Tomorrow is Saturday. Give me 2 days to think it over. Okay. That night, after making sure Lu Chaochao had fallen asleep, Ji Yanli left the bedroom and called Chu Sheng. Chu Sheng, if you were to have a child in the future, would you feel comfortable letting them go to kindergarten alone? For Ji Yanli, sending Lu Chaochao to school was even more terrifying than the thought of sending his own daughter to school in the future. Chapter 61, Seduction. Chu Sheng's ghostly voice came through the phone. Ji Yanli, just because you don't have a nightlife doesn't mean the rest of us don't. Ji Yanli mentally sighed. Oh, then I'll call Yin. Chu Sheng was so angry his hair stood on end. For the first time, he felt his friend was a bit of an idiot. He took a deep breath. Forget it. What do you want? Ji Yanli raised an eyebrow, went to the wine cabinet to pick out a bottle of red wine and opened it, watching the vibrant red pour into the decanter. He then continued, Zhao Zhao wants to go back to school. Do you think her health allows it? Ji Yanli, have you lost your mind? You called me over such a trivial matter. Chu Sheng roared, wishing he could turn back time and just turn off his phone. Ji Yanli strongly disagreed with Chu Sheng's words. Frowning deeply, he said, There's nothing trivial when it comes to Zhao Zhao. How could it be a trivial matter? With her frail body carrying his child, unable to eat, and suffering from nausea, how could he feel at ease letting her go to school alone? The school is crowded with people. What if someone bumps into Jiao Jiao? The roads are slippery with snow. What if she falls? What if she can't stomach the school meals? How can I possibly feel at ease? Ji Yanli could come up with 10,000 reasons not to let her go to school. Chu Sheng put on his clothes and went to the kitchen, gulping down 2 large mouthfuls of ice water before finally calming down. Big brother, Lu Jiao Jiao isn't a child, nor is she a pet you keep at home. If you lock her up like this, aren't you afraid she might get depressed? As a wealthy young man from an elite family, Chu Sheng certainly knew that women shouldn't stay at home for too long, otherwise they'd turn into shrews, spending their days lost in wild imaginings. His friend definitely wouldn't want to see the woman he loved become like that either. If you really care about her, you should respect her wishes. She's a 20-year-old girl. It's only natural for her to crave excitement and enjoy being around people her own age. At her age, she should be in school. The fact that she's already having your child is already pretty beastly of you, don't you think? Chu Sheng didn't mince words as he scolded Ji Yanli. If you're worried about her safety, just hire a couple of bodyguards to protect her. Is that really so hard for you? You're worried she can't get used to the school food, just have someone prepare meals and deliver them to her. Don't you often have steaks airlifted from abroad? If money can solve the problem, why make her angry? The poor girl is already going through so much carrying your son. Wouldn't it be better to make her happy, whether from a doctor's perspective or as a friend? Chu Sheng tried his best to persuade Ji Yanli not to be so anxious. There are only 2 months left this semester. Even if she needs to take a leave of absence, it can start next year. Yanli, sometimes what you think is right might not necessarily be what Lu Chaochao considers good. Don't do things you think are good for her. Chu Sheng thought to himself that it was his friend's first love at 30, and it was inevitable to get carried away, blinded by emotions and losing rationality. He earnestly said many words of advice. All right, that's all I have to say. If we're brothers, unless it's something really important, let's not call this late. Okay. Ji Yanli heard the beep-beep sound from the phone. He put down his phone, took a big sip of red wine, and pondered carefully. Chu Sheng was right. He was so concerned that he became confused, afraid something might happen to Lu Chaochao, and his fear made him unwilling to let her face the outside world. But this was clearly impossible. Humans are social creatures, and avoiding interaction is unrealistic. His Chaochao had only been pregnant for a month. He truly couldn't be that selfish. Ji Yanli pondered what the best course of action would be. Only after brushing his teeth and washing away the scent of red wine did he return to the bedroom. In the bedroom, a vase of alluring roses on the coffee table exudes a faint, delicate fragrance. On the pink-toned bed lies a girl as beautiful as an angel. Her every breath tugs at the man's emotions. He gently presses a kiss to her lips, murmuring, "Jiao Jiao, I surrender." After climbing into bed, the man gathers her into his arms, feeling a peculiar sense of fulfillment. Upon catching the familiar scent, Lu Jiao Jiao instinctively nuzzles against his broad, warm chest, whispering drowsily, "So warm." The tenderness on Ji Yanli's face deepened as he listened to the little one's breathing gradually slow into sleep. Early the next morning, Lu Chaochao felt the sunlight a bit too harsh on her eyes. Unhappily, she turned over, trying to bury her head into the pillow to continue sleeping, only to find that the usually warm and soft pillow had turned hard and unyielding. Puzzled, she opened her eyes in confusion. What greeted her wasn't the cozy warmth of her blanket, but a patch of wheat-colored skin. She let out a silent "ah" in her heart, jerking her head back abruptly. Only when she saw clearly that the person before her was Ji Yanli did her wildly pounding heart finally settle. What she had just seen turned out to be Ji Yanli's chest. Lu Chaochao's face flushed red. She squinted, wanting to look but feeling too embarrassed, thinking that Ji Yanli was still asleep. She mustered the courage to open her eyes and steal a glance. Wow, her Yang seemed to have well-defined pectoral muscles. Hehe, I wonder how it feels to touch. Who says girls aren't drawn to beauty? They're just as easily captivated by allure, regardless of gender. The gleaming skin tempted Lu Chaochao. She knew Ji Yanli's chest was warm and gave a sense of security, but she just couldn't help wondering, how good would it feel to touch? Puffing her cheeks, Lu Chaochao propped herself up to study Ji Yanli. Seeing no signs of him waking, her restless little hand began inching toward its target. Her hand inched closer to his chest. Lu Chaochao swallowed nervously, her face growing redder by the second. As adrenaline surged through her, she didn't even consider giving up. When her fingers were just 0.1 centimeters away from his pectoral muscles, her small hand was suddenly seized by a much larger one. Ji Yanli opened his peach blossom eyes, his magnetic, deep voice murmuring by her ear, "Chaochao, what are you doing so early in the morning?" When her hand was caught by the man, Lu Chaochao was startled, hearing the obvious amusement in his voice. She wished she could just fall back asleep. Could she pretend this was all sleepwalking? Not a chance. I've caught you red-handed. No pretending it was sleepwalking. You, how did you know what I was thinking? Lu Chaochao was so shocked she could barely speak clearly. Ji Yanli raised an eyebrow, taking her fair, delicate hand and placing it on himself. Chaochao, there's no need to feel embarrassed about being curious about my body. I'm actually very happy that you're interested in me. With that, like a male fox spirit, he began unbuttoning his shirt right in front of her, one button, then another. Lu Chaochao's face flushed from pink to deep red, the color spreading from her ears all the way down to her neck. She wanted to withdraw her hand, but under Ji Yanli's scorching gaze, her hand lost all strength. She wanted to close her eyes and pretend she hadn't seen anything, but the vivid, alluring 8-pack abs, narrow waist, and firm, sculpted chest. Any one of them was enough to make someone's nose bleed. Ji Yanli then guided the little one's hand, sliding it from the 8-pack abs all the way down to the place she had initially wanted to touch. "Chaochao, how does it feel?" Lu Chaochao was met with Ji Yanli's utterly captivating gaze. Chapter 62. Clearing all obstacles for her, who could remain calm and actually reach out to touch after witnessing such a blood-pumping scene first thing in the morning. In any case, Lu Chaochao couldn't handle it. The moment her hand touched Ji Yanli's chest and felt the warmth of his skin, she hurled a pillow at him and then burrowed completely under the covers. It was the kind of feeling where even if the world were ending, she wouldn't want to come out. Ji Yanli knew he had teased her enough. Suppressing his smile as he quickly buttoned up his clothes and tugged at the blanket, "Jiao Jiao, don't cover your head, it's not good for your health." Lu Jiao Jiao was panting heavily under the blanket, but the mere thought of what had just happened made her so embarrassed she wished she could bite her tongue off. "No, I'm not coming out today." She decided she might as well stay under there until the end of time. "Jiao Jiao, there's nothing to be embarrassed about, just like me. I always want to kiss you every moment. It's human nature to desire love and beauty." Ji Yanli's words only added fuel to the fire, intensifying the blush on Lu Chaochao's face. Yang, stop teasing me. Why does he always love to tease her, and pretending to be asleep, making her have impure thoughts first thing in the morning? She's really about to die of embarrassment. Getting caught groping someone's chest muscles is so embarrassing, making her look like a total creep. Lu Chaochao felt more and more mortified the more she thought about it, her toes curling up as she desperately wanted to dig a hole to hide in. It was just too awkward. Ji Yanli suppressed the joy in his heart. Only then did he realize that Lu Chaochao was truly Lu Chaochao. She had her own life, her own friends, and that unique personality of hers, so different from others, which fascinated him all the more. He really couldn't keep the little one locked up at home just to ease his own worries. At the very least, he had to wait until the end of the semester. "Alright, Chaochao, let Yang apologize to you." "Okay, I just wanted so badly to see how much you like me." Ji Yanli had never known that one day he could speak so tenderly. Perhaps in front of Lu Chaochao, he could lose many of his first times, breaking his own boundaries again and again. Lu Chaochao's body shifted slightly, clearly moved by his words. "Chaochao, are you really not coming out? I was thinking that you'll be starting school the day after tomorrow, and I wanted to take you to buy some new clothes." "Oh, what should we do? Should we forget about school, or should we skip buying new clothes?" Ji Yanli was an old fox, and Lu Chaochao, a little rabbit, was no match for his teasing. With those two rhetorical questions thrown out, Lu Chaochao immediately forgot her embarrassment. Her mind filled only with the thought that she could finally go to school soon. With a swift motion, she threw off the blanket and excitedly threw herself at Ji Yanli. "Yang, Are you really okay with me going back to school? Ji Yanli steadied her in his arms, one hand firmly holding her waist while the other tapped her nose, saying helplessly, "Yes, I've arranged for someone to accompany you to school. Is that all right with you?" Lu Jiaojiao nodded eagerly. As long as she could return to school, she didn't mind having someone accompany her. It didn't bother her at all. Overcome with joy, Lu Jiaojiao forgot her earlier embarrassment and planted a kiss on Ji Yanli's cheek. "Yang, thank you, I'm so happy." Ji Yanli felt the kiss on his face. Both happy and a little disappointed. "I don't know whether to be happy that you took the initiative to kiss me or sad that you actually want to leave me so much." Facing each other, Lu Chaochao could clearly sense Ji Yanli's disappointment. Although it was her first time in a relationship, she might not have eaten pork, but she had certainly seen pigs run. She affectionately rubbed her head against his. "I'll come back to keep you company tonight, okay?" After rubbing her head against his, Lu Chaochao rested her chin on his shoulder and nestled her entire body into his embrace. "You have work on weekdays too, and I have nothing to do at home alone. Although entering this field wasn't my original intention, after studying it for over 2 years, I've grown to love it deeply. I want to develop more functional skincare formulas, revive Shengyu, make Lu Yunting regret his actions, and show them that what was taken from others must eventually be returned." She just wanted to see Lu Yunting in tears, especially seeing the misfortune of Lu Qingqing's family, which gave her immense satisfaction. "All right. Then you go back to school and focus on your studies. Leave everything else to me, okay?" For Ji Yanli, helping Lu Jiaojiao rebuild Shengyu Company was a piece of cake. He could spend money to purchase a few skincare production lines abroad and simply rebrand them for marketing overseas. However, his Jiaojiao was even more capable than he had imagined. Establishing a new company became even simpler. He only needed to spare a little time each day, just enough for a cup of coffee. "Sure. I do have some questions I don't quite understand. I used to feel too embarrassed to ask the professional teachers." Under Xiao Jingxian's torment, Lu Jiaojiao had long become introverted, afraid to voice her opinions for fear of drawing unusual looks from others. "But now I understand. There's no shame in asking when you don't know." Lu Chaojiao tightly hugged Ji Yanli. It was all thanks to the courage he had given her. "My Chaojiao is indeed the best." Ji Yanli gently patted the young girl's back. Though he longed to savor the warmth of her embrace, it was already time for breakfast, and he didn't want to starve her or their child. "Auntie Wang has already prepared breakfast. Shall we get up now?" Lu Chaojiao's eyes lit up. "Aunt Wang made some delicious scallion pancakes yesterday. The really fragrant kind. I need to go eat them right now." "All right, let's get you washed up and brush your teeth." Ji Yanli got out of bed, put on his shoes, and extended his hand. "Come, my dear princess. May I help you get up and freshen up?" Lu Chaochao couldn't help but laugh. "So, Yang also enjoys watching short videos." Feeling a bit smug, she lifted her chin and spoke, her short little tail perking up like a rabbit's. "All right then, help me over there, as you wish, my princess." The young couple started showing off their affection early in the morning, but fortunately, no one noticed, so the number of victims remained 0. The weekend passed quickly. Ji Yanli prepared ample winter supplies for Lu Chaochao. As he dropped her off at the school gate, he adjusted her scarf and checked her gloves. "You must take good care of yourself, understand? Your safety is more important than anyone else's. Don't worry, I'll protect myself and the baby." Lu Chaochao confidently patted her chest as she made the promise. Outside the car, 5 extra-large snowplows arrived at the entrance of Shanghua University. As soon as the vehicles stopped, over 50 sanitation workers stepped out, equipped with tools, and began clearing the snow from the school gate all the way to the teaching buildings. Other students were stunned. Since when did our school become so wealthy that it could hire so many people just to clear snow? Thank you to my fan friends for sending the Big God certification, special thanks. Really appreciate it. The update urged talisman, likes, flowers, power of love gifts, and more. Seriously, your encouragement is the greatest motivation for a small-time author like me. I was almost ready to give up, but after today, I'm fully revived. I'll update diligently and bring out my best work. As long as you don't give up on me, I'll never abandon the story or leave it unfinished. Just a quiet aside, How could I possibly afford to buy comments? Some of you readers really overestimate me. I'm just a rookie author who hasn't even earned back the cost of my keyboard. Me. Spending money on comments? Go ask Tomato Dad if they'd even allow that. Don't hype me up too much. I might start floating. Chapter 63, President G's Thoughtful Service. Lu Chaojiao watched in astonishment as over 50 janitors, wielding small snow blowers that buzzed like well-trained soldiers, swiftly cleared a path. They quickly scattered industrial salt. And in an instant, a clean road appeared before the eyes of numerous students, teachers, and Lu Chaojiao herself. Did the school administrators win the lottery last night? The students couldn't help but voice their bewilderment. Did they lose their minds, gone crazy, completely out of their wits? Must have dialed the wrong number after drinking too much. Otherwise, they could have just watched them slip and fall to their deaths on the road. Why the sudden good mood today? Even clearing the snow for them. Look at how clean the road is, not slippery at all. They haven't walked on such a surface since the snow started falling. Seriously, Lu Chaojiao watched from the car for over 10 minutes, her mouth agape. Yang, don't tell me you did all this. Ji Yanli nodded, looking at the clean road with some satisfaction. I checked the recent weather forecast. The days are fine, and the snow only falls at night, so from now on, as long as you have classes during the day, they'll be working. After speaking, he patted her head with an air of wealth and generosity. Although I'm still not entirely at ease, I'd rather see you smiling. Lu Chaojiao's eyes reddened. No one had ever treated her as well as Ji Yanli. She threw herself into his arms, wrapped her arms around his neck, and planted a kiss on his lips. Thank you, Yang. I find that I like you even more today than I did yesterday. Ji Yanli looked at Lu Chaojiao as if she were a precious treasure, unable to suppress the smile at the corners of his lips. All right, hurry off to school. I've already arranged for someone to protect you. Lu Chaojiao looked up and indeed saw two rather inconspicuous female classmates standing outside the car, holding books as if waiting for her. She was a bit puzzled. Were these the bodyguards Ji Yanli had hired for her? Yes, they were recommended by a security company. I know you don't like standing out, so they won't talk to you. They'll just stay by your side, and you don't need to pay them much attention. Just do whatever makes you comfortable. They won't disturb your studies. Ji Yanli hugged his little one again. All right, hurry up and go to school. I'll pick you up in the afternoon when school's over. The man watched the little girl's retreating figure and sighed softly. I never imagined sending a child to school would feel like this. Xiao Zhao's hand trembled slightly, his lips twitching uncontrollably. Boss Ji, your girlfriend is just going to school, not venturing into some dragon's den or tiger's lair. Is there really a need for such deep emotions? Let's go to the company. After speaking to Xiao Zhao, Ji Yanli took out his phone and made a call. Assistant Ju, how's the arrangement I asked you to handle? Assistant Ju had already arrived at the company. Seeing the message done, in WeChat, he nodded and said, it's all completed, everyone is in place, just waiting for Miss Lu to arrive. Okay. Good. Notify the mid to upper level management to attend a meeting in the large conference room in 45 minutes. Received. Will notify them immediately. After Lu Chaojiao got out of the car, the two bodyguard sisters instantly positioned themselves beside her, flanking her protectively on either side. She nodded at them somewhat sheepishly, and the bodyguard sisters acknowledged her with a slight nod in return. Then, maintaining an expressionless demeanor, they appeared as if they didn't know her, yet continued to protect her vigilantly at all times. She pursed her lips and strolled leisurely along the cleared path, surrounded by the continuous sounds of students expressing their astonishment. Suddenly, she felt a hint of pride in her heart. It was the kind of pride that came from knowing they could walk on a clean, non-slippery road because of her. This emotion was hard to describe with many words, if it had to be put into words. It could only be called pride and smugness. By the time Lu Chaojiao arrived at the classroom, her classmates were still discussing the incident. Some had even posted about it on Doomy, and by the end of the class, they had received plenty of envy and resentment from students at other schools. Why doesn't our school have this? Why not? Quick, tell me, which student is it? My butt's almost split into 8 pieces from falling. Damn, I've fallen so much I don't even have clean pants left. Lu Chaojiao looked at these comments, couldn't help but laugh, and then screenshot them to send to Ji Yanli, who was in a meeting. The man stole a glance and couldn't help but smile as well. Pay attention in class, or I won't let you go out. Lu Chaochao stuck out her tongue. Got it. After putting down her phone, a short-haired girl approached her. Lu Chaochao, are you ready for your presentation? Have you reviewed the PPT and materials? The short-haired girl asked with concern. Lu Chaojiao had grown much bolder now and spoke with confidence. Don't worry, I've gone through your PPT many times. There won't be any issues with the presentation. This affected their usual grades, and the short-haired girl cared deeply about it. But since Lu Chaojiao's grades were quite good, she was willing to trust her. All right, it should be our turn next class. Get ready. Okay. Lu Chaojiao opened her laptop, reviewed the PPT and her own notes. After class started and the teacher called their group's name, Lu Chaojiao stood up. It's been a long time since what happened before. Although I don't usually pay special attention to Lu Chaojiao, in this situation, it's hard not to say to the classmates around me, is that Lu Chaojiao? She seems to have become even prettier. Before, she always kept her head down, so I never noticed how she looked. Who would have thought she's so beautiful? Pretty sister. So hot, so hot. Most of the students are still quite innocent. They naturally have a fondness for beautiful people and things, and most of them also feel that what happened to Lu Chaojiao last time was an undeserved misfortune. It's really disgusting to spread malicious rumors about someone just because they're beautiful. So today when she took the stage to give a lecture, everyone directly gave her a warm round of applause. It seems this female student is quite popular with everyone. This teacher is quite gentle. She doesn't deduct points for students being late or leaving early, which makes her quite well liked by the students. The course she teaches is how to find raw materials for making cosmetics and skincare products in nature. Lu Chaojiao had prior experience in making these products, so she wasn't particularly nervous during the lecture. She followed the textbook and slides smoothly and delivered the lesson quite well. The class ended, and the students enthusiastically applauded and cheered. Lu Chaojiao walked off the podium, her face slightly flushed with excitement. Ah Yang, my lecture was a great success. My Chaojiao practiced for most of the day at home, of course it would be a success. Ji Yanli quickly replied. Lu Chaojiao pouted. You taught me well. He had been encouraging her not to be nervous. Is there a reward then? Ji Yanli replied. Lu Chaojiao bit her lip and thought for a moment. I'll give it to you after school. After saying that, she threw her phone aside in slight embarrassment and began to focus on the lesson. By noon, Lu Chaojiao was ready to head to the cafeteria for lunch. She had just sent a message to Ding Shu and the others when the bodyguard sister approached her. Miss Lu, please come with me. Lu Chaojiao was a bit puzzled but knew her Yang had other arrangements for lunch. Just as she was about to message her friends to cancel the cafeteria meetup, the bodyguard sister spoke up. President Ji has rented a counter in Cafeteria 3, with chefs transferred from 5-star hotels or high-end private households, ensuring the food suits your taste. Miss Lu, Mr. Ji said you can also bring your classmates to enjoy the meal. Lu Chaojiao opened her mouth wide. Indeed, the wealthy handle things with such efficiency. Please add this to your bookshelf and give it a 5-star rating. Thank you so much. Love you all. Chapter 64. Liking you even more. When Ding Shu, Yuan Jiayin, and Bai Hang arrived at the third canteen, they were still a bit puzzled. The food at the third canteen isn't good. Why would Chaojiao want to eat here? The food at the third canteen was the worst at Tsinghua University, the kind that experimented with new recipes every day, constantly researching but only making it taste worse. So, Ding Shu and the others couldn't imagine which counter at the third canteen might still offer something edible. Lu Chaojiao, carrying her baby, walked a bit slower and arrived a few minutes later than the others. When she got there, the girls immediately surrounded her. Chaojiao, did you find out which window serves really delicious food? Is that why you called us over? Lu Chaojiao glanced at the bodyguard's sister, who pointed to window 12 on the first floor. She nodded in understanding. Yes, definitely a master chef. It's food you can't even get in regular restaurants. Lu Chaojiao boasted confidently and stepped forward first, arriving at window 12, where a middle-aged man appeared before her. Classmate, what would you like to eat? Here's the menu. Ding Shu and the others were shocked. It's ordering food, that's no different from dining out, it must be quite expensive, right? They directly stuck their heads in to take a look. This price is half that of a regular restaurant, it couldn't be that bad, could it? With that thought, Ding Shu and the others' expressions became complicated. But Lu Chaochao was full of confidence. She knew the people her Yang hired couldn't possibly cook poorly. Hurry up and order, or we won't have time to go back to the dorm for a nap. Lu Chaochao looked at the menu and ordered stir-fried broccoli with mushrooms and eggplant with minced garlic. After the uncle blinked his eyes in pain, she added one more meat dish. Ding Shu and the others were a bit scared, but they couldn't resist Lu Chaochao's insistence on eating, so they each ordered a meat dish as well, sitting aside without any expectations. I hope the taste is normal, I just hope they perform normally. No need for innovation, don't worry, it's definitely going to be delicious, trust me. Lu Chaochao patted her chest confidently. Sure enough, while the girls were discussing cosmetics and complaining about their heavy course load, an enticing aroma of food wafted past their noses, causing them to close their eyes in unison. My spicy fish, it smells amazing. God, this is my spicy diced chicken, it smells amazing. Oh my God, this is my braised chicken, such a familiar and authentic taste. Lu Chaochao savored the aroma filling the air, feeling it was no less delicious than what Aunt Wang used to make. Window No. 12 finished preparing the dishes and directly sent out several staff to serve the food at the table, placing the delectable feast before the girls' eyes. Ding Shu and the others were so shocked they were momentarily speechless. After a long pause, they finally managed to say, since when did our school's food windows evolve to offer this kind of service? Is the third cafeteria's business so bad that they're only competing on service now? Did the cafeteria aunties even stop shaking their hands while serving such delicious-looking food with such attentive service? Damn, today's meal is totally worth it. Jiao Jiao, tell me the truth. Are they actually from the leadership special window sent here to play some undercover boss game? What the hell kind of undercover game is this? Lu Jiao nearly burst out laughing. Although I really wanted to say it was the power of money, I held back and just said, alright, hurry up and try it to see if it's good or not. Anyway, she was so hungry she could barely stand it. A bite of eggplant, a bite of mushroom, and then under the gaze of the bodyguard sister, she took another bite of meat. Thankfully there was no urge to vomit. Holy shit, you guys gotta try this spicy diced chicken, it's fucking amazing. Lu Chaochao couldn't resist grabbing a piece of the fragrant chicken. Ji Yanli wouldn't let her eat anything too spicy, worried it might upset her stomach. Aunt Wang also mentioned that eating overly spicy food isn't great for the body, especially since pregnancy can cause constipation. She hadn't indulged like this in ages, and with no one to stop her today, she just had to try it. Never mind the uncle at window 12 coughing his lungs out. Anyway, as soon as their dishes were served, a flood of students was drawn in. Though it was several times more expensive than regular boxed meals, splitting one dish among a few people was still a great deal, right? So the uncle got busy. At lunch, Lu Chaochao still felt a bit nauseous from the smell of other dishes, but the flavors of the spicy fish and chili chicken were so amazing that they completely overpowered everything else. She ended up eating a lot from her rice bowl, and even the bodyguard sister gave up trying to stop her. After all, the employer had said that as long as she was happy, they shouldn't interfere too much with whatever she did. After this lunch, the girls all rubbed their full bellies with great satisfaction. Just as they had put down their chopsticks, the staff from Window 12 brought over 4 bowls of dessert. Today is our Window's first day of operation. Thank you for your support. This is a gift for you. We hope you like it. Yuan Jiayin, a self-proclaimed foodie, held the dessert and said, I feel like something's a bit off, but isn't this dessert just ridiculously delicious? Can we buy it in the future? Lu Chaochao took a bite. It somewhat resembled Aunt Wang's cooking. She secretly smiled to herself. Having dessert after a meal was her habit. Her Yang was truly the best. Lu Chaochao thought Ji Yanli's arrangements would end there, but she never expected there would be even more extravagant surprises. She was already on her way back to the dorm when she suddenly received a call from Ji Yanli. Chaochao, I've arranged the bedroom for your noon break. Just follow the people protecting you. Ah, just for a noon nap. Does it need special arrangements? She doesn't even stay at school overnight. Ji Yanli stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, looking down below as he said gently, Chow Chow, your dorm has bunk beds. How can I rest easy knowing you're sleeping on the top bunk? You're trying to scare me to death, aren't you? He recalled when Lu Chow Chow was first pregnant with their baby. Neither of them knew at the time. She would carelessly climb up the ladder to bed every day, sometimes even hopping down directly. The thought made his vision darken and his heart clench. Fortunately, his Jiao Jiao was unharmed. Otherwise he didn't know what he might have done. Ji Yanli couldn't help but direct his anger towards Shanghua University. What kind of undergraduate university is this? Located in the capital, yet it doesn't even have one-bedroom apartments for dorms. Utterly useless. Why can't it be upgraded to a 985 or 211 institution to receive more subsidies from the Ministry of Education and improve the dormitories a bit? Even if they could produce a few more outstanding students, the donations they receive would likely increase, right? Ji Yanli always acts so unreasonably when it comes to Lu Chow Chow. Listening to Ji Yanli's voice, Lu Chow Chow felt a sweet warmth in her heart. She had only been at school from Monday to Friday, and just over the weekend, 2 short days, her Yang had managed to do so much for her. It was simply overwhelming happiness. Yang, thank you. And also, I like you a little more now than I did this morning. Please add to your bookshelf and leave a 5-star review. Thank you so much. Chapter 65. The Ji family knows. Lu Chaojiao settled into the dormitory arranged by Ji Yanli. Meanwhile, the man received a call from home. Dad, what's the matter? The voice on the phone was urgent. Yanli, your mother just fainted. Come home quickly. Hurry. Ji Yanli's body tensed up instantly, a cold aura radiating from him. All right. I'll be right back. Assistant Ju had just entered the office when he heard Ji Yanli say, cancel all my afternoon appointments. I have an emergency and need to go home. Seeing the worried look on his boss's face, Assistant Ju knew it was serious. He nodded, understood. At this moment, the man had already taken the elevator straight to the basement level. He didn't call Xiao Jiao but drove back at high speed himself. The Ji family villa area was very large. After entering through the main gate, it still required a drive to reach the house. Ji Yanli's heart was hanging in the air the entire time. He couldn't lose Lu Chaojiao, and of course, every single family member was extremely important to him. His mother wasn't young anymore. What could have caused her to faint? When Ji Yanli arrived at the doorstep, he didn't even have time to close the car door before running into the family's butler. Uncle Xia, what's wrong with my mom? Has the doctor arrived yet? Butler Xia's expression was complicated. He wanted to explain, but the young master's anger was more than he could handle. He could only sigh and say, Madam is in the living room. You'd better go in and see for yourself. Ji Yanli's chest heaved violently, his pupils constricting sharply. Could her condition be that serious? With long strides, his entire body tense, he rushed into the living room. Just as he was about to call out, he saw his mother sitting elegantly on the sofa, dressed beautifully, with rosy cheeks and a radiant smile. She was still holding a girl's hand with both of hers, looking her up and down before nodding uncontrollably. Across the sofa sat a beautiful woman, also smiling. What's going on here? Ji Yanli wasn't a young man in his 20s just starting out. His first reaction upon seeing this scene was, he had been tricked by his family. Ji Yanli felt a surge of immense anger rise within him. His grandparents, father, and mother had actually used their own health as a pretext to deceive him into coming home. He clenched his fists, his teeth gritted, exuding an icy aura. Just as Yang Yuqiong caught sight of Ji Yanli standing at the door, Yanli, you're back. Come and meet your sister Xingyu. You used to play together when you were kids. Xingyu looked up at Ji Yanli standing at the door upon hearing this. He was still as tall, straight, and handsome as ever. The girl blushed at Yang Yuqiong's words and softly called out, Brother Li. Ji Yanli didn't respond to her. He glanced at her briefly, then strode forward, suppressing his anger. Not wanting to embarrass his mother in front of outsiders, Mom, I came home to see you. Are you all right? Yang Yuqiong coughed awkwardly twice. Looking at her son's expressionless face, she knew he must be angry, extremely angry. Hehe, I'm fine. Her son's gloomy gaze was quite intimidating. Yang Yuqiong didn't even dare to meet Ji Yanli's eyes and could only hold Shen Xingyu's hand while speaking. Yanli, do you remember your sister Xingyu? Ji Yanli glanced indifferently at the exquisitely dressed, beautiful girl and replied, sorry, my childhood memories are a bit hazy. Shen Xingyu's face paled slightly upon hearing this, and she responded with some disappointment, it's okay, after all, it's been over 10 years since we were kids. It's understandable to forget something so important. Yang Yuqiong knew her son was displeased, but there was nothing she could do about it. My son spends every day tied up with the company. I clearly promised them I'd find a girlfriend, but after all this time, there's still no progress. How could she not be anxious? It just so happened that a somewhat familiar friend came to visit with her daughter, after getting to know her for about a week and thinking she was a good match. She hastily came up with an excuse to trick her son into coming home to meet her. Who knows, it might just work out perfectly. This is your Aunt Shu. Yang Yuqiong introduced another distinguished lady, who was none other than Shen Xingyu's mother. Facing an elder, Ji Yanli couldn't maintain a cold expression and could only force a difficult smile to greet her before excusing himself. There's an urgent matter at the company, and I need to discuss it with my father. Aunt Shu, Miss Shen, thank you for keeping my mother company. If you have time, you're welcome to stay for a simple meal. I won't disturb you for now. Shen Xingyu's body tensed up immediately, and Mrs. Shu's eyes also showed a hint of disappointment. However, she knew that if Ji Yanli could so easily take a liking to a woman, you can't say you'll still be single at 30. But as they say, haste makes waste, everything needs to take its time. Mrs. Shu forced a smile. It's fine. Company matters are important. Yanli, you go ahead and attend to your work. Go on. Ji Yanli gave a slight bow before excusing himself and hurried off to his father's study. As soon as he opened the door, he saw Ji Yuncheng holding a teacup, trying to sneak off to the back garden. He called out sharply, Father. Ji Yuncheng slowly turned his head to see Ji Yanli standing at the door with a cold expression, clearly displeased. Why are you shouting so loudly? You startled me. He coughed twice and retracted the leg he had just stepped forward with. Why have you suddenly come home? Is there something wrong at the company? He sat down with an affected air, flipping through a finance book absent-mindedly, his gaze wandering, clearly not paying attention, not even noticing the book was upside down. Seeing his father like this, Ji Yanli's heart actually calmed down. He leisurely took a seat in front of Ji Yuncheng and took a sip of tea from his cup. Yes. Is there something with the company? Wanting father's help, Ji Yuncheng's hand trembled slightly, his eyes blank. Something. What could it be? I saw your last quarter's total profits were excellent. Where's the issue? Ji Yanli snorted coldly. There's nothing urgent at the company for now, but that might not be the case in the future. Ji Yunkai opened his mouth to explain, but the next second he heard Ji Yanli speak again. Dad, you also noticed I've been taking too few vacations. So you found an excuse to make me come home and rest, right? Ah, has my son gone mad with anger? Ji Yanli tapped the table. Since this is Dad's intention, then starting tomorrow, I'll take my annual leave and hand over all company affairs to you. Father, how about that? This way, Mom won't have to worry about me not finding a girlfriend and resorting to using the excuse of being sick to trick me into coming home. Ji Yuncheng's teacup trembled in his hands as he was greatly shocked. Son, listen to your dad's excuse. Wait, let me explain. Ji Yuncheng hastily put down the book, looking at Ji Yanli with a face full of fear. He had finally waited for his son to grow up, handed over the heavy burden, and could travel the world with his wife. How could he possibly take back the company and return to the miserable daily grind? He wanted to say something, but the study door was suddenly pushed open. Yang Yuqiong stood at the doorway, speaking righteously. Explain what? There's nothing to explain. Yanli, if you want to blame anyone, blame me. It was me who forced your father to make that call. What else could I do? You haven't been home for half a month, saying you wanted to find a good girlfriend, and now there's not a peep. Then you shouldn't have used such an excuse. Do you know how scared I was when I was driving home? Ji Yanli said angrily. Only then did Yang Yuqiong and Ji Yuncheng truly realize that the excuse they had made was indeed not very good. It was easy for their son to get into an accident driving fast in the snow. At the thought of this, her face also turned pale. The scene of Ji Yanli's previous car accident replayed in her mind, and her heart immediately clenched, with regret and worry written all over her face. She stepped forward and examined Ji Yanli's body. "I'm sorry, son. Mom just felt dizzy and had a momentary lapse in judgment. Please don't be angry. Thank goodness you came back safely." Ji Yunchang also looked at Ji Yanli with concern. He was the only heir in their family. If something really happened, how could he explain it to his parents? Now, his face was also filled with regret. "Son, I promise I won't make excuses to force you into blind dates anymore." Ji Yanli looked at his parents' fearful, regretful, and concerned eyes, and couldn't stay angry no matter how upset he was. He helped Yang Yuqiong sit down. "I forgot to tell you all along. I have a girlfriend." "Ah, what the hell? Am I hearing things?" Yang Yuqiong and Ji Yuncheng were completely baffled. "I've already proposed to her, a bit hastily, and she didn't agree." What? A proposal? Our son proposed to his girlfriend, and got rejected. Ji Yanli had already dropped 2 bombshells, and then he dropped an even bigger one. And, she's pregnant, just 5 weeks along. The sound of someone collapsing could be heard both outside and inside the door. Chapter 66. Fainting from excitement, Tian Shuilan heard from the butler that Ji Yanli had returned and seemed extremely angry due to Yang Yuqiong's deception. She was truly afraid that her grandson and daughter-in-law would start arguing over the slightest disagreement. Her grandson hadn't changed at all over all these years. What he hated most was deception, especially when it came from his own family. He must be so furious his hair was practically on fire. She and her husband hurried toward the study, never expecting to hear their grandson drop such earth-shattering news the moment they reached the door. "She's pregnant, exactly 5 weeks along." Tian Shuilan's heart skipped a beat, her blood pressure shot up, and she fainted straight into her husband's arms. Yang Yuqiong in the room was no different. Upon hearing her son say his girlfriend was pregnant, a ringing sound filled her ears, then everything went black as she lost consciousness. The Ji family still called for their family doctor, 2 of them at once. Fortunately, the family doctors lived on the premises and arrived promptly. The diagnosis for Tian Shuilan was: the elderly lady is advanced in years. The sudden shock caused her blood pressure to spike, leading to fainting. In the future, her blood pressure must be carefully managed, avoid significant emotional fluctuations and maintain a calm, happy mood, then there shouldn't be any major issues. The lady just had a shock and fainted from the sudden stress. She'll be fine once she wakes up, nothing serious. Without even prescribing any medicine, the family doctor took his leave. Yet the person inside the room remained dazed, their head spinning, unable to snap out of it for quite some time. Ji Xingyi, trembling, grabbed Ji Yanli's hand and asked, "Is my granddaughter-in-law pregnant?" Ji Yanli nodded. Tian Shuilan also woke up, her face flushed crimson, and she asked again, "Your granddaughter-in-law is 5 weeks pregnant?" Ji Yanli helplessly nodded once more. Yang Yuqiong also came to her senses, springing up from the bed like a zombie. Son, you're saying your wife is pregnant, right, you're not lying to your mother, are you? I'll really believe it if you are." Ji Yanli watched as his mother grew increasingly excited, almost to the point of frenzy, and couldn't help but shake his head in resignation. Yang Yuqiong looked at him in horror. "You're lying to me." "No," Ji Yanli replied, "she really is pregnant. I had Chu Sheng take us for the checkup. If you don't believe me, you can ask Chu Sheng." At this point, Yang Yuqiong didn't even trust her own son. She actually took out her phone and called Chu Sheng. "Chu Xiaozi, Yanli told me his girlfriend is pregnant. Is it true?" Chu Sheng was still at the hospital. At this moment, he raised his eyebrows. He knew his buddy couldn't keep it a secret for long. "Auntie, it's true. I was the one who took his girlfriend for the checkup, and the baby is perfectly healthy." Upon hearing this, Yang Yuqiong trembled all over. She hung up the phone, grabbed Tian Shuilan's hand, and excitedly said, "Mom, Yanli has a child. Yanli really has a child now." The 2 women held hands in excitement, startling the men around them who quickly separated them, urging, "You need to stay calm now. Calm down. Don't get too worked up, we can't calm down. Yang Yuqiong waved off her husband's hand and said excitedly, Yanli, your wife is already pregnant, why haven't you brought her home to meet me yet? Tian Shuilan nodded. Exactly, with the baby on the way, we need to hurry up and arrange the wedding. Right, otherwise the dress won't look good with a baby bump. Girls really care about that, Yang Yuqiong said, already picturing the wedding scene in her mind. Oh dear. Then we'll also need to consult someone to match their birth charts and pick an auspicious date soon. Looking at it this way, time is really tight. Will the wedding be held domestically or abroad? Yanli, does your girlfriend prefer a Chinese-style or Western-style wedding? Right, the betrothal gifts. We haven't prepared the betrothal gifts yet. How are we going to propose marriage? Yang Yuqiong anxiously patted Ji Yanli. How could you only mention such an important matter now? You should have told us the moment the girl got pregnant, so we could bring gifts and propose marriage properly. Otherwise, do you think her father would just hand his daughter over to you? It's not good to get a girl pregnant before marriage. It's also my fault for not teaching you these things. You didn't know any better. But it's not too late to fix it now. Yang Yuqiong kept chattering non-stop like a string of firecrackers, rattling off one thing after another. Ji Yanli felt dizzy and overwhelmed, but he had no choice but to explain. Mom, please calm down and listen to me. Okay, her family situation is a bit complicated, and she has a very strained relationship with her biological father. Ji Yanli briefly explained Lu Chaochao's circumstances. Under the sympathetic gazes of the Ji family, he continued, besides, she's still young. She doesn't even understand the impact pregnancy and having a child would have on her life. She's just as carefree as ever every day. As for marriage, she hasn't even agreed to my proposal yet. How can we get married? At this point, Ji Yanli also felt somewhat helpless. Moreover, the custom-made diamond ring he ordered was still being crafted, so proposing now would feel like something was missing. Ji Yanli's words successfully evoked sympathy from the Ji family. Then can we at least meet her? Chapter 67, The Ji family's first glimpse. Mom, it's my turn to look, it's my turn. Yang Yuqiong tugged at Tian Shuilan's hand impatiently. Don't rush, she hasn't come out yet. Tian Shuilan cracked the car window open slightly, peeking out cautiously while trying to stay hidden. They weren't engaged in anything shady. They were simply trying to catch a discreet glimpse of Lu Chaochao at the entrance of Tsinghua University, because their good grandson and good son said that Lu Chaochao shouldn't have her emotions too stirred up. And their sudden appearance might scare the little girl. Before he said anything, they could only sneak glances. They even drove only one car to avoid drawing attention. Yanli is being too stingy. What's wrong with us driving 4 cars? Hiding 4 people in one car is just ridiculous. Ji Yuncheng looked displeased because his dad had taken the front passenger seat, leaving him unable to see anything, so he could only sulk. Yanli said 4 cars would be too eye-catching. It's just 4 cars. Isn't there parking everywhere by the school gate? He still didn't quite understand. The driver actually gave an answer. Well, sir, the most expensive car parked at the school gate might be that BMW worth about $1 million. Even if we drive out the cheapest car from home, it would cost $5 or $6 million, which would definitely attract attention. Ji Yuncheng was utterly speechless. They're coming out, they're coming out, they're coming out, Tian Shuilan screamed at this moment. And Ji Xingyi even put on his reading glasses to look. Where, are you blind? You don't recognize your granddaughter-in-law, but don't you know your own grandson? Look at the girl Yanli is holding. I've never seen him smile so happily before, Tian Shuilan sighed, taking out her phone to snap a photo of the affectionate young couple in front of the car. Mom, let me see quickly, Yang Yuqiong urged, her impatience practically making her mouth burn. Tian Shuilan reluctantly stepped aside, adding, don't forget to take a couple of photos with your phone. Yang Yuqiong watched as her mother-in-law turned her head away, then excitedly pressed her own face against the car window. Sure enough, she saw her usually ice-cold son holding his wife with a gentle smile. My daughter-in-law is so adorable. Dressed like a little panda, she remarked. Ji Yanli wrapped his arms around Lu Chaochao's waist and couldn't help but say at the car door, I missed you so much. Lu Chaochao nestled into his embrace and whispered, I dreamed about you during my nap. The little girl felt a bit embarrassed talking about this. Ji Yanli touched her face, soft and smooth. What were we doing in the dream? Lu Chaochao blushed, truly too shy to say. Ji Yanli glanced at the black car not far from them. It's cold outside. Let's go back to the car and you can tell me slowly. He opened the car door and let Lu Chaochao get in, then quickly followed her inside. Xiao Zhao had learned his lesson and promptly pressed the privacy partition button, so he wouldn't have to worry about accidentally seeing something he shouldn't. Ji Yanli settled into the car, fastened the seatbelt for both Lu Chaochao and himself, then asked, "What did you dream about?" Lu Chaochao stuck out her tongue, hugged his arm, rested her head on his shoulder, and finally said leisurely, "I dreamed the baby was born, and you were so happy you kept spinning around while holding them." A very happy scene. Lu Chaochao almost didn't want to wake up. Ji Yanli was also drawn into Lu Chaochao's dream, and he tried to imagine that scene. Lu Chaochao stood nearby, smiling as she watched him holding their child, the baby giggling uncontrollably in his hands. It was indeed too blissful. Ji Yanli held Lu Chaochao even tighter. "Chaochao, I can't wait for that moment." "Me too." The two embraced happily, while Yang Yuqiong was so angry her nose was crooked. "What's wrong with Yanli? Didn't he say he wanted us to spend more time with our future daughter-in-law? Why did he leave with her so quickly?" Tian Shuilan also looked displeased. A lively, delicate, and tender granddaughter-in-law, she hadn't even gotten a proper look at her yet. Ji Yuncheng held up his phone with a speechless expression. Yanli said it's cold outside, so he took her to eat first. The group let out an "oh," indicating they understood but were still annoyed. "Hurry, catch up with Yanli's car, and ask him where we're going to eat." Yang Yuqiong didn't want to miss this opportunity, staring at the blurry photo on her phone. She swore she'd get a close look at Lu Chaochao today. Tian Shuilan thought her daughter-in-law made an excellent point. Before long, Ji Yanli received a message from his family and shook his head helplessly before sending them the restaurant address. He took the opportunity to ask Lu Chaochao how she felt about meeting his family. Lu Chaochao's mouth fell open in surprise. "Yang, your family wants to meet me." With a gasp, she sat up straight from Ji Yanli's embrace. "Do they know about me?" Seeing the little one trembling with nervousness, Ji Yanli quickly held her tight. "Chaochao, don't be afraid. My family likes you very much. You know what? When my grandmother and mother found out you're pregnant, they were so excited they even fainted." "Fainted? What happened? Is it serious?" Lu Chaochao grew even more frightened. Ji Yanli stroked her back gently. "Don't be afraid, they're fine. Absolutely nothing's wrong. They were just so happy that they fainted from excitement." Lu Chaochao was so shocked she was at a loss for words. Could someone really faint from happiness? The Ji family seemed quite different from what she had imagined. And would a wealthy noble like Ji Yanli even like a girl like her? Wouldn't they think she's just some gold-digging woman trying to marry Ji Yanli by using the child as leverage? "Chaochao, throw all those doubts out of your mind." Ji Yanli gripped her shoulders firmly. "My grandparents and parents absolutely adore you. If I hadn't stopped them today, they would have even come to pick you up after school. Trust that your Yang would never lie to you. If you were really standing in front of them, I swear they'd like you even more than they like me." Just like how Yang Yuqiong married into the Ji family, Ji Yuncheng became the lowest status person in the household. He couldn't even get a word in on normal days. Lu Chaochao's eyes welled up with tears. "Really? Will your family truly like me and not dislike me?" Ji Yanli used his hand to wipe away the little one's tears. "You're so adorable. Like a little son. Who in this world wouldn't like you? Chaochao, be more optimistic. They all like you very much." Lu Chaochao touched her chest, feeling her heart beating so fast, so fast. Yang's family knew about her, didn't dislike her, and even wanted to meet her. All of this was real. She was so lucky to have met Ji Yanli. Chapter 68. The Ji family's assistance. Ji Yanli took Lu Chaochao to a Western restaurant, where everything had been arranged in advance. All they needed to do was show up. Lu Chaochao hesitated at the entrance, feeling a bit embarrassed. Should I just go in like this? She was still wearing her down jacket. Ji Yanli pulled her closer and said, "This restaurant is under my name, and what's mine is yours. As the boss's wife, you can wear whatever you want to dine here." Ji Yanli wasn't wrong. It was indeed a venture he started with friends just for fun. But unexpectedly, it flourished beyond expectations. Lu Jiaojiao was amused by Ji Yanli's words and, no longer concerned about her attire, followed him inside. The Western restaurant was spacious, devoid of other patrons. As soon as they entered, a waiter escorted them to a table by the floor-to-ceiling window. From there, they could overlook the entire nightscape of Kyoto, a view so breathtaking it seemed like a dream. "Here is the menu. Please let us know if you need anything." The waiter smiled and excused himself. Ji Yanli handed the tablet to Lu Chaochao. The two sat side by side. Unlike in TV dramas where couples face each other across a table adorned with roses and candles, sipping red wine while exchanging smiles, Ji Yanli had no intention of letting go of his little one. He wished he could shrink her to palm size so he could carry her in his pocket to work every day, taking care of her at all times. Lu Chaochao also enjoyed leaning against Ji Yanli. The man's embrace was not only warm but also gave her an immense sense of security. She looked at the tablet and pouted, saying, "Would it be very uncool if I ordered a well-done steak?" Ji Yanli patted her head and replied, "Well, if you want, this restaurant could serve only well-done steaks from now on. Your preference is what matters most." Lu Chaochao smiled sweetly and said, "Then I'll have the fruit salad, cream of mushroom soup." She glanced again and continued, "Pan-fried squid rolls, filet mignon, spaghetti with tomato meat sauce, and finally a cheesecake." Lu Chaochao wasn't particularly hungry to begin with, but looking at the menu, she couldn't resist ordering a variety of dishes, wanting to try a bit of everything. Ji Yanli, of course, was happy to see her eat. Eating a lot meant she wasn't suffering from morning sickness and was in good health. The man knew exactly which dishes the little one preferred and added quite a few more before finally putting down the tablet. "Can you finish all this?" Lu Chaochao asked with concern. Ji Yanli curled his lips in a nonchalant smile. "It's fine. You eat first." Money was the least of his worries. As long as the little one was happy, that was the true value of this restaurant's existence. With a smile, Lu Chaochao turned her gaze to the window. Outside, the sky had completely darkened, and the lights of the towering buildings flickered on one by one, captivating her so completely she didn't even blink. Ji Yanli watched as the little one gazed out the window, completely captivated. With a slight raise of his hand, the waiter received the signal. He took out his phone and sent a message. An order was swiftly relayed. Then, to Lu Chaochao's delighted surprise, the lights on the opposite building changed colors. Her mouth fell open in shock, unable to close for a long while. As she stared blankly at the opposite building where the words flickered and changed, "Our Yang's love for Jiao Jiao only. Our Yang's love for Jiao Jiao only. Our Yang's love for Jiao Jiao only." Several enormous words floated before Lu Chaochao's eyes. She pressed her entire body against the window, her fair skin flushing pink, turning back with tears in her eyes. She indeed saw Ji Yanli smiling at her with gentle warmth. He stepped forward slightly, embracing her from behind, and whispered softly in her ear, "Ji Yanli loves Lu Chaochao. Ji Yanli loves Lu Chaochao very much. Ji Yanli loves Lu Chaochao very, very much. I have proclaimed it to the world, proclaimed it to everyone. Ji Yanli loves Lu Chaochao. So, Chaochao, do you love me?" Lu Chaochao was so overwhelmed with excitement and joy that she couldn't speak. Throwing herself directly into the man's arms, almost incoherent, she tightened her arms around his neck, her voice choked with tears. "Of course I love you. Chaochao loves Ian too, so very much." In the corner, the Ji family members were on the verge of tears witnessing this scene. Yang Yuqiong held a tissue, wiping the tears from the corners of her eyes. "Our son has really grown up. He's become so romantic now." Ji Yuncheng hugged his wife, watching her cry, and comforted her. "If you like it, I'll do something like that too. Get lost, you're too old to be acting like this." Yang Yuqiong, now only having eyes for her son and future daughter-in-law, pushed Ji Yuncheng away and said, "No, I must do something at such an important moment. Dad, Mom, you sit and watch for a while. I'll go to the kitchen and make a dessert for Chaochao. When she marries into our family later, I can hold her hand and say, 'Daughter-in-law, your mother has already made desserts for you with her own hands, so you've been part of our family for a long time.'" Tian Shualan's eyes lit up upon hearing this, and she immediately headed to the kitchen. "Daughter-in-law, let me do it. You've hardly cooked at home, and my cooking tastes better. Young Yuqiong was shocked. Her mother-in-law, who had always doted on her, actually wanted to steal her idea. Mom, you're getting older, let me handle it. Tian Shualan pressed her hand down. I'll do it. I've eaten more salt than you've eaten rice. I have the experience. Mom, you don't need to add salt to the dessert. I'll handle it. Don't tire yourself out. The usually harmonious mother-in-law and daughter-in-law pair actually started arguing at this moment. At this point, Ji Xingyi stood up, patted his clothes, and said, I think we're missing some music. I'll go play the piano for them. Ji Yunqing's eyes lit up, and he coughed twice in a pretend manner. Then I'll go play the violin for them. Dad, it's been a long time since we performed together. Let's show off today and let Chow Chow see how amazing we are. So saying, father and son held hands for the first time in such harmony and walked to the hall, leaving the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law staring at each other in surprise. In the end, Yang Yuqiong gave in. Mom, what if I dance? Let Chow Chow see how much I like her. This moment must be recorded. Yang Yuqiong's eyes burned with determination as she psyched herself up. Daughter-in-law, it's been a while since you practiced ballet. Are you sure you can do it? Yang Yuqiong thought for a moment. Then I'll make desserts for Chow Chow instead. Hey. Tian Shualan grabbed Yang Yuqiong's arm, her expression sincere. Daughter-in-law, I think your dancing is especially beautiful. You should hurry and have someone deliver the clothes. With that, she quickly headed to the kitchen. If she didn't move fast, someone might snatch the opportunity. So, just as Ji Yanli was pouring his heart out to Lu Chao Chao, the sweet melody of a piano and violin duet reached their ears. Ji Yanli and Lu Chao Chao both tilted their heads to look over. Lu Chao Chao thought it was arranged by Ji Yanli, feeling nothing but moved. When Ji Yanli spotted his grandfather and father in the corner, his face was already covered in black lines. He had known his family wouldn't just sit back and watch quietly. But what left him even more helpless was the sight of his mother, his most beloved mother, now tiptoeing to the center of the stage, leaping gracefully like a beautiful white swan, blessing them with her presence. Meanwhile, his grandmother, who had somehow found a chef's outfit and donned it with a white hat, was beaming as she placed a dessert on the table. This dessert is called Eternal Love. May you both be happy forever. Ji Yanli gazed at his perfectly assembled family, utterly unsure whether he should proceed with the proposal. Chapter 69. She is the happiest person in the world. Tian Shualan didn't leave after delivering the desserts. Instead, she stood there with overwhelming excitement, tears welling up in her eyes as she gazed at Lu Chao Chao and Ji Yanli. Even though Ji Yanli was signaling with his eyes for her to leave quickly, Tian Shualan still turned back every few steps, reluctant to return to the kitchen. Lu Chao's face was almost red. Yang, what's going on here? The old lady kept staring at her, making her blush. In this situation, even one more person would feel quite awkward. Ji Yanli shook his head. Feeling the current scene was still under control. It's okay. Can Chao Chao continue listening to me? The man whispered while holding the little one's soft hand. His gaze was so tender it could melt into water. In such a romantic setting, Lu Chao Chao immediately understood what the man intended to do. Listening to the lyrical music, she slightly raised her head to see a beautiful woman dancing in sync with the melody, twirling and leaping like the figurine in a music box she had once seen. So enchanting it seemed to bubble with beauty. How could she possibly deserve to stand in such a wonderful place, basking in Ji Yanli's love for her? Even before he could finish his words, her tears had already begun to fall. Go on, she said. Tian Shualan wished she could become invisible. She really wanted to go up and hear what her grandson would say. Chao Chao, you probably already know what I want to say. Ji Yanli pursed his lips and paused for a moment, then took the little one's hand and placed it on his chest, letting her feel the surging love beneath his calm exterior. His heart was pounding just as fiercely, even though in the past he had never known what nervousness or fear meant. But today, he deeply understood the meaning and emotions these words contained. Lu Chao Chao placed her hand on his chest. Their hearts seemed to beat in unison, pounding wildly as if they might leap out of their throats the next second. Lu Chao Chao bit her lip. Yang, listen to me first. Ji Yanli gazed affectionately into the little one's eyes. I know Chow Chow has many fears and uncertainties, worrying about your great-grandfather and whether the other members of the Lu family might cause trouble for me." Lu Chow Chow looked surprised, her expression clearly asking, "How did you know?" He gently tapped her nose. "You wear your thoughts on your face, it's easy to guess. So, my Jiao Jiao, don't be afraid, I am your strongest support. I can protect you and help you with anything. I don't see it as trouble, nor as a burden. I think this should be called love. I love you, and I love everything about you. Don't be afraid anymore. Jiao Jiao, follow your heart and give me the chance to take care of you, okay?" Ji Yanli used to think that saying sweet words was a disgusting thing. His brothers would affectionately hold their girlfriends' hands and sweetly call them baby, at that time. He was so disgusted that he couldn't eat for days, and he swore he would never become that kind of man. But after meeting Lu Chow Chow, he realized that love words in this world come from the heart. Once spoken, you'll find yourself saying them more and more, completely beyond your control. So, Ji Yanli took out the diamond ring that had been rushed for an entire afternoon. The ruby named Eternal Heart, symbolizing the most beautiful love in the world, has now become the most precious engagement ring. Ji Yanli, with the most perfect facial features, was about to kneel on one knee in his well-tailored suit to propose to Lu Chow Chow when she suddenly threw herself into his arms. She didn't want him to kneel again. Once in the hospital was enough. She was already moved to tears. She hugged him tightly. "I do, Yang, I do." When Lu Chow Chow loudly declared "I do," the piano and violin suddenly changed their melody, and Yang Yuqiong was so excited she spun around, wishing she could laugh heartily to the heavens. She, Yang Yuqiong, finally had a daughter-in-law. Tian Shuolan watched as all three of them continued to perform, stomping her feet in frustration. Missing out on such an important moment would be such a huge loss, an absolute tragedy. Butler Xia had arrived at the hotel long ago, capturing this beautiful moment with professional equipment. Seeing the old lady as restless as an ant on a hot griddle, he initially intended to comfort her. To his surprise, the elderly woman stripped off her chef's uniform, straightened her outfit, smoothed her hair, and then strode confidently to the edge of the stage, keeping time with the music of Ji Xingyi and Ji Yuncheng. She suddenly belted out a soprano performance that stunned the entire audience. Yang Yuqiong nearly stumbled and fell to the ground. Butler Xia was utterly dumbfounded. He had miscalculated. The elderly lady had been a soprano singer in her youth. How could she let such a crucial moment pass without a performance? Ji Yanli, his heart pounding with excitement, had just slipped the ring onto Lu Chow Chow's finger. It was the first time he had trembled with nervousness. Just as he leaned in to gently kiss her, his grandmother's piercing high note struck, leaving all his words stuck in his throat, unable to come out. His face darkened. Meanwhile, Lu Chow Chow, wearing the most beautiful and precious ring in the world, looked up and said, "Yang, since my parents passed away, today has been the happiest day of my life. Thank you for bringing me such romance." With that, she stood on her tiptoes, closed her eyes, and pressed her lips to Ji Yanli's. After pulling away, she said firmly, "Yang, Chow Chow loves you too." As soon as she finished speaking, thunderous applause erupted around them. "Woo woo, this is so touching. You two will definitely be happy." Yang Yuqiong covered her mouth and burst into tears, although Tian Shuolan appeared calm and elegant. Her trembling body betrayed her excitement. "You will surely live a very happy and healthy life together." As for Ji Yuncheng and Ji Xingyi, the father and son didn't know what to say. So they could only continue playing the piano and violin, using music to express their most sincere blessings. A proposal that was originally very romantic became filled with comedic effects due to the participation of the Ji family. Still, at least the ending was good. Although Ji Yanli was somewhat frustrated that his plans kept being interrupted by his family, when he thought about how both his family and the person he loved were present during such an important moment in his life, it actually felt quite nice. The dishes they had just ordered started arriving one after another as their proposal ceremony concluded. Lu Chow Chow sat down, wearing a massive 36-carat diamond ring. "Ah Yang, I'm starving, let's eat." Ji Yanli pulled his fiancée Lu Chow Chow to sit down. The little one pointed somewhat shyly at the stage in the corner. "There's no one else here. Let them take a break. Isn't the singing grandma the same kitchen grandma who just served her dessert? Do Western restaurants nowadays have such high standards for hiring chefs? They need to know how to make desserts and sing too. Lu Chaojiao was amused by her own thoughts. Leaning against Ji Yanli, she said, I just want to have dinner with you. I'd feel too shy if there were others around. Ji Yanli nodded in understanding and gestured to call the waiter over. By then, the rest of the Ji family realized they couldn't stay any longer. Ji Yanli was truly on the verge of losing his temper. The playful elders reluctantly left the hall. Once seated in the car, they watched the video taken by butler Xia, and Yang Yuqiong immediately transferred it to her phone. Along the way with fancy editing, one of the most beautiful proposal videos in the world appeared on her Weibo homepage. Today is a memorable day. My son proposed to his girlfriend. I'm so happy to witness this joyful moment. As a mother, I sincerely hope my son and daughter-in-law will have a happy and fulfilling life together. She was also very considerate in blurring Lu Chaojiao's figure. As for Ji Yanli, well, never mind, most of the shots were of his back anyway, so blurring or not didn't really matter. The video was instantly played by her fans as soon as it was uploaded. When her fans saw the title, their hearts skipped a beat. Watching the video made their eyes widen in shock, and then they glanced at Yang Yuqiong's verification badge. Netizens were stunned. Oh my god. Whose proposal involves grandparents and parents acting as the hype squad? Who said there's no love or family bonds in wealthy families? Next time, I'll shove this video right in their face. The social media team at Ji's Group Corporation had already clocked out, but he habitually opened Weibo on his phone to check if anything important had happened. Just as he logged in, his phone froze, just when it seemed like his phone was about to crash from refreshing. The operator saw a comment from a netizen. Holy shit, your CEO Ji proposed today. Did you know? What the hell? Their workaholic CEO Ji proposed today, and he brought his grandparents and parents along for the proposal. Chapter 70 Lottery Blessings. While Lu Chaojiao and Ji Yanli were enjoying their first sweet dinner after the proposal, Weibo was already buzzing with excitement over a video posted by Yang Yuqiong. Who is Ji Yanli? He is the man coveted by countless socialites and celebrities in the entertainment industry. Setting aside family background and Ji Yanli's capabilities, the man's looks and physique alone are enough to captivate a multitude of women. His admirers could form a line stretching from domestic to international. However, the man rarely gives interviews, and there are very few photos of him online, but that doesn't stop some female netizens from idolizing him as their dream husband. Yang Yuqiong's Weibo has long been verified, and everyone knows she is the wife of the Ji family, Ji Yanli's mother, so she usually posts photos of afternoon tea, illustration tutorials, and the like, which also attract quite a bit of attention, drawing in many fans and friends. But tonight, a sensational video suddenly went viral. Ji Yanli is in a relationship, he has a girlfriend. And he even brought his elders along for the proposal. What does that mean? It means the girl has already won the approval of the entire Ji family, solidifying her position to marry into wealth and become a noble lady. Another celebrity husband is taken. I might as well just die crying. That's Ji Yanli we're talking about, the man rumored to be the coldest and most heartless. He actually fell in love with a woman. This is simply unbelievable. Oh my god, I got goosebumps all over. It's like stepping on a landmine out of nowhere. I'm completely stunned. No, don't you think this is just too sweet? It's straight out of a novel. Call it Little Sweetie marries into a rich family and gets spoiled by the in-laws. My god, I'm witnessing a real-life domineering CEO. No novel could be this sweet. Which CEO's wedding features the in-laws playing music and dancing to celebrate? Oh my god, she must be a fairy to deserve this. Didn't you guys capture the giant screen on the building opposite Venus restaurant today? Holy crap, it's been flashing all night. I'm so overwhelmed with sweetness I can't even speak. Countless netizens in Kyoto posted their photos in the comments section, pushing the video's popularity to new heights. Woo woo. I wish I could possess that woman's soul. I'm so jealous I could crawl away in darkness. Ah, what's the harm in having one more woman married into a wealthy family in this world? Does anyone know the female lead? I want to see what this woman looks like. I'm so envious I could cry. Where are my connections? Does anyone in the high society circle know this person? As for whether anyone knows her, of course not, at this moment. All the wealthy young ladies in Kyoto are gritting their teeth and posting messages on their social media. Who on earth managed to successfully become Mrs. G? Which family's daughter? Which one, now? Every socialite in high society can't help but suspect their usual circle of friends. Could it be that they quietly stole the home away? A man like Ji Yanli, even if they couldn't have him, they wouldn't want other women to have him either. They'd be driven mad with jealousy, perhaps in their circle. Only Yu Xian is the most clear-headed. She sipped her red wine, watching young Yuqiong's video with a hint of envy, being treated so seriously by her in-laws. Even if Ji Yanli were to change his heart in the future, that girl's life wouldn't be difficult. Sigh, she would never meet such a man herself. She could only watch enviously and then calculate how much her own marriage might be worth. Young Yuqiong scrolled through the netizens' comments, grinning from ear to ear. All notions of aristocratic etiquette completely forgotten, she happily swam through the comments on Weibo while continuously replying to messages from friends and family on WeChat. Until a message from someone named Shu Yuan came through. Yuqiong, what's going on here? Shu Yuan was the distinguished lady who appeared at the Ji family's old residence today. She had brought her daughter Shen Xingyu along after receiving a hint from a friend, only to be met with cold treatment. To make matters worse, the official announcement of the daughter-in-law's existence came that very evening. Are you treating her like a monkey to play with? Even though the Ji family holds a high status, Shu Yuan was still very angry and couldn't help but question Yang Yuqiong. Yang Yuqiong felt extremely embarrassed looking at Shu Yuan's message, her face turning red with shame, seeing his wife suddenly change her expression. Ji Yuncheng grew restless in the car and curiously glanced at her phone, then he started nagging. I told you not to casually arrange blind dates for Yanli, but you wouldn't listen, now you're being blamed. It's like going for wool and coming home shorn. Yang Yuqiong, flushed with anger, pushed Ji Yuncheng away. Without me today, would you have been able to meet Zhao Zhao? Would you have known that Yanli has a child? Would you have been so overjoyed you could go crazy? Ji Yuncheng rubbed his nose. Decades of married life had taught him that it was best to keep his mouth shut at times like this. Saying even one more word could easily invite criticism. Yang Yuqiong took a deep breath, her face also showing an apologetic expression as she began typing. Yuan, I'm sorry, that brat Yanli didn't tell us he had a girlfriend, and I had no idea either. I've been so worried about his marriage prospects. Who would have thought he'd come back today and tell us the truth? Yang Yuqiong sent Shu Yuan a lengthy message, as if composing a short essay, and even acknowledged several benefits in her words. In the end, Shu Yuan still didn't tear off all pretense of cordiality and replied, "It's fine. It's a good thing Yanli has found someone he likes. Even if we can't be a couple, we can still be like siblings. When Yanli gets married, I'll definitely prepare a generous gift." Yang Yuqiong lowered her head heavily as she read the message. Forget it. I'll go home and pick out a nicer bracelet from the storage to give to Xingyu as an apology. She then pointed at the photo of Ji Yanli on her phone and said, "It's all because of this son of mine, who wouldn't make a sound even if you hit him 3 times with a stick. He's made me lose face big time." Ji Yuncheng remained silent. After all, his wife could complain, but he couldn't. The employee from the operations department of Ji Corporation finally pieced together the whole story. Before he could rush to the company group chat to express his excitement, he received a message from Ji Yanli. Post a giveaway on Weibo using the official account. I'll personally fund 5.2 million yuan to be distributed among 314 fans. Participants must leave a comment expressing their blessings for me and my fiancé, with each comment requiring exactly 520 characters. 520,000. Is this how rich people date? Chapter 71. Your heart has already told me. Ji Yanli's phone call instantly snapped his employee wide awake. His eyes blazed with intense light, his body trembling uncontrollably. 520 million. That's 5.2 million, not 520 yuan. Which averages out to nearly 4,000 per person. That's half a month's salary. The operations team member realized his opportunity had come. He had to leverage this lottery event, not only to let everyone know that Ji Yanli was showing off his affection, but also to promote a product. While Ji Yanli played the role of a generous benefactor, he carefully examined the company's newly launched products, and after going through the entire series, he found a 1-carat diamond ring suitable for ordinary girls. The original price was no less than around 30,000, but today it could be offered at a discount. He directly sought approval from his superior. After the leader announced the decision in a meeting, he excitedly shared the news. After all, it would be a waste not to take advantage of this trend. Missing out would truly be a foolish mistake. Ji Yanli never expected his employees to be so dedicated even at night. He had impulsively decided to hold the giveaway. He was so happy at this moment that he wanted everyone to know his happiness. At 10 p.m., the operations team posted a lottery draw on Weibo, instantly catching the attention of night owls who quickly shared it in company and school groups. But then they realized something was off. Why were they sharing it? Wasn't this just lowering their own chances of winning? So they deleted the posts a minute later. Close friends and besties immediately started screaming in the group chats like excited groundhogs. Damn it, everyone get up and go post blessings on the official Weibo page of Ji's Group Corporation right now. Boss Ji is showing off his love and giving away 2 million yuan in a lottery. All we need to do is send our best wishes to him and his fiancée. Fuck, seeing this, I'm wide awake now. What are we waiting for? We gotta shower them with praises until they bloom like flowers. The onlookers jumped in to follow the trend. Years of fangirling finally paid off as the rainbow farts they've mastered poured out effortlessly. Sweet words flowed like water into their memos before flooding the comment section. Holy shit. The lucky winners not only get a share of the money but also get to attend Boss G's wedding as guests. Oh my god, is someone like me even worthy of attending a high society wedding? I always thought wealthy families were only about interests. Who the hell would have thought a romance-obsessed CEO from novels would appear in real life? Ah, I'm so jealous. I'm screaming with envy, twisting in darkness, writhing in shadows, roaring with a distorted face. Some netizens were almost driven mad with rage. However, such comments were rare in the discussion section, with most being nothing but dazzling flattery. The operations department employee had long since sneaked back to the company. Upon learning that Ji Yanli would award him triple bonuses, he fell in love with going to work. As soon as I logged onto the company's official website, their featured diamond ring, highlighted by tonight's seasonal proposal event, had already been impulsively purchased by many netizens. Isn't this just blatantly scamming people? But they're offering an 8% discount, A9. 8% discount on Ji's diamond rings is already rare, and today it's 8%. Round it off and it's practically free. Buy it. Buy what? They're already out of stock. Netizens were dumbfounded, while the operations department employees were grinning from ear to ear, ecstatically losing their minds at their workstations. He truly loves going to work. Under Ji Yanli's meticulous care, Lu Chaochao didn't lift a chopstick throughout the entire dinner. Ji Yanli thoroughly enjoys feeding the little one. She eats delicious food like an adorable hamster, her cheeks puffed out roundly, making people want to pinch and kiss them. The man's throat moves slightly, his eyes gleaming with an unusual light. He quietly watches the little one take a sip of juice, then narrows her eyes in satisfaction. Unable to resist, his large hand gently tilts her head, and he leans down to kiss her. The little one had just drunk juice, her mouth fragrant and sweet. Ji Yanli couldn't help but hold her tighter, demanding more. Lu Jiaojiao was kissed by Ji Yanli until her whole body tingled and went weak, losing all strength as she melted into the man's embrace. She was much shorter than the man, so she had to tilt her head up to kiss him. The man lowered his head, slowly teasing, gently biting, and sucking, leaving the little one with eyes brimming with desire and lips swollen and red. Finally, she tapped his shoulder. And only then did the man reluctantly let go. He pressed his forehead against Lu Chaochao's. Why haven't you learned to breathe yet? It seems the only way is to make up for lack of skill with diligence, more practice through more kisses. Lu Chaochao was glad she had sent everyone away early, leaving only the two of them in the hall. Otherwise, she would have been too embarrassed to face anyone after what had just happened. Ah Yang, stop teasing me. Every time she watched men effortlessly flirt with her, she couldn't help but feel envious. Why couldn't she say such things without blushing or her heart racing? Lu Chaochao pouted unhappily, tugging at Ji Yanli's large hand before giving it a little bite. If you keep bullying me, I'll bite a hole in it. Bite. Ji Yanli looked down at the little one in his arms. Did she even know what a real bite was? She had just grazed his skin with her teeth. It didn't hurt at all. Just left a faint tingling sensation. This was a space that belonged solely to the two of them. The metropolis was ablaze with lights at night. Ji Yanli wrapped his arm around Lu Chaochao's shoulder, leading him to the floor-to-ceiling window before embracing him from behind. Outside, the giant screen continued to flash the words "Yang loves Chaochao." "How long is that going to keep flashing?" Lu Chaochao asked with a hint of curiosity. Ji Yanli kissed her hand lightly and replied, 520 days. 520 days. Lu Chaochao was so shocked she screamed, stammering slightly, "Isn't that too long? A year and a half, isn't that a bit too long to be showing off your love like this?" Netizens had previously commented that his Yang didn't understand emotions and was a cold-blooded creature. She looked at the large screen outside, then lowered her gaze to the ruby ring on her hand. If someone like Ji Yanli could be called a cold-blooded creature, then there truly were no people in this world who understood love. Ji Yanli shrugged. "Really, I originally wanted them to do it for 314 days. But it's indeed a bit regrettable that the person in charge didn't agree. I still wanted to put on a fireworks show for you." He wrapped his arms around the little one's waist and gently swayed. "It's a shame we can't set off fireworks freely in Kyoto right now. Chaochao, when the opportunity arises, I'll let you witness the most beautiful fireworks in the world." Lu Chaochao turned back and hugged his waist tightly. "I don't really care about these things. As long as you can stay by my side forever, that's enough for me." Ji Yanli tightened his embrace around Lu Chaochao. "I know Chaochao doesn't mind, but I want to give you everything I possibly can, to show you just how much Ji Yanli loves Lu Chaochao. Your heart has already told me." Lu Chaochao pointed to his chest, then pressed her ear against it. "Yang's heart has already spoken to me." Ji Yanli looked down with eyes full of adoration. This little one really knew how to sweet-talk. The waiter at the Western restaurant played a lyrical piece of music. Ji Yanli took Lu Chaochao's hand and said, "My beautiful princess, would you like to dance with me?" Lu Chaochao froze for a moment, then shyly placed her hand in his. "I don't know how to dance." With a gentle pull, Ji Yanli drew the little one into his arms. "It's all right. Maybe you can step on my feet. I'd be happy to dance with you like this for a lifetime." Chapter 72, Zhao Zhao's homemade snacks. As soon as they left the Western restaurant and got into the car, Lu Zhao was so exhausted she could barely keep her eyes open, but just before dozing off, she still managed to whisper to Ji Yanli, Yang, I want to change my surname back to Sheng." Ji Yanli froze for a moment before lowering his head and replying, "All right, I'll help you with that." Lu Chaochao nodded at him before finally relaxing and falling asleep in his embrace. She wanted to marry Ji Yanli as Sheng Chaochao, not as Lu Chaochao, that disgusting, nauseating surname. However, life was not easy for Lu Yunting's family. The issue with the raw materials was exposed by Ji Yanli, and Lu Yang immediately faced a barrage of online attacks. Not to mention the already scheduled New Year's Day activities, even the recent online and in-store sales have dropped significantly. Frustrated merchants have been calling Lu Yunting's assistant one after another, stating that if Lu Yan cannot resolve this negative news, they will have no choice but to collectively return the goods. They absolutely cannot afford to keep the stock in their stores and suffer total losses. Lu Yunting was so furious that he threw cups and his phone around the office, cursing for a long time. In the end, he could only sit back in his office chair, gritting his teeth and pulling his hair while trying to come up with a solution. Xiao Jingxian isn't having an easy time either. The news of her being Lu Yunting's mistress has spread throughout her social circle, becoming common knowledge. Every time she steps out, she faces scornful looks and sarcastic remarks, leaving her teary-eyed and unwilling to leave the villa area again. Lu Qingqing had been hospitalized for 3 days straight after fainting at school when someone splashed water on her. During these 3 days, no matter how she tried to contact Xu Jiaxuan to come see her, He always hesitated on the phone, making all sorts of excuses. When Lu Qingqing called him again and heard another woman's voice beside him, she broke down and confronted him directly. Xu Jiaxuan, who is that woman beside you? Who is she? Xu Jiaxuan, accustomed to being spoiled, couldn't stand Lu Qingqing's questioning and snapped, "None of your business." Then he hung up the phone and went off to enjoy himself. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Lu Qingqing stared at the disconnected call, her eyes red with anger. The Ep4 in her hand began to backflow with blood, startling a nurse who rushed over in alarm. "Hey, don't move around like that. Look, the blood is flowing backward." The nurse's tone was sharp but well-intentioned. However, Lu Qingqing, consumed by rage, was in no state to consider this. With reddened eyes, she snapped, "Get out, all of you. Get out." After the nurse left, she pulled out the needle and hid under the covers, crying, Lu Qingqing won't admit defeat like this." She bit her lip, thinking about what had happened to her and the words she had heard. She was 100% certain in her heart that all of this was definitely Lu Xiaoxiao's doing. It must have been the old man behind her who did it for her. Why? How could a worthless woman like Lu Xiaoxiao still have men willing to stand up for her, while she, after investing so much in Xu Jiaxuan, could be cast aside by him over mere rumors? No way, she won't allow such a thing to happen. Brother Zun, since you've shown no loyalty, don't blame Qingqing for being ruthless. Lu Qingqing wiped away her tears and curled her lips into a smile. She swore that those who made her unhappy would all go to hell. They all deserve to die. A thick wave of hatred erupted in Lu Qingqing's eyes, for Lu Xiaoxiao, as an adult. Changing back to her original surname was actually a very simple matter. I didn't change it before because I was afraid Lu Yunting would be unhappy and then stop paying for great-grandpa's nursing fees. Now, Lu Xiaoxiao isn't afraid anymore. Great-grandpa was long ago arranged by Ji Yanli to be admitted to the best vegetative state rehabilitation hospital in the capital. Dozens of experts have consulted on great-grandpa's condition, and Lu Xiaoxiao has a feeling that perhaps before long, her great-grandpa will open his eyes and gently call her name. "Xiaoxiao, come to great-grandpa. I'll give you the most beautiful flower in the world." On Wednesday morning, Lu Xiaoxiao had no classes. She had originally planned to change her name, but since Ji Yanli had a very important meeting at his company and couldn't get away, she ended up baking cookies at home with Aunt Wang. "Aunt Wang, is this the right way?" Lu Xiaoxiao held the piping bag shakily as she squeezed out a cookie, which turned out a bit crooked and not quite presentable. But Aunt Wang immediately praised her. "Miss Xiaoxiao is so talented. Even the cookies she decorates look so beautiful." Being recognized brings a deeply satisfying joy. Although Lu Xiaoxiao was aware of her own abilities, she couldn't help but beam with happiness. "Auntie Wang, let's make some more and send them to Yang later." "Okay." Auntie Wang's eyes lit up. She couldn't be happier to see the young couple so inseparable. And the idea of sending something to Ji Yanli at work was simply perfect. First, it would allow her to flaunt the existence of his fiancée to everyone at the company. Second, I believe Ji Yanli will also be very happy when he sees the little cookies, even to the point of not wanting to eat them. "Xiaoxiao, I think your idea is wonderful. Come, let Auntie teach you how to draw smiling face cookies. I'm sure the young master will love them dearly." Lu Xiaoxiao nodded vigorously. In fact, Aunt Wang had already done most of the preparatory work, so there wasn't much left for Lu Xiaoxiao to handle. But when a tray of cookies successfully came out of the oven, she was so delighted that she immediately called for Aunt Wang. "Auntie Wang, look, are the cookies done?" She tasted one, still warm in her hand. She didn't know how Auntie had seasoned them, but they weren't too sweet and crumbled deliciously with each bite. One word, aroma. 2 words, delicious. Lu Xiaoxiao narrowed her eyes in satisfaction. Seeing her happy, Aunt Wang raised another suggestion. "Xiaoxiao, would you like to learn how to make milk tea? It's very simple. That way, the young master can enjoy it with his meal." Lu Xiaoxiao's eyes sparkled. Milk tea. She recalled the milk tea Aunt Wang had made before. It was absolutely delicious. The only downside was that drinking too much might make it hard to sleep, but then again, her Yang could treat it like coffee. Lu Xiaoxiao nodded vigorously. "Yes, Auntie Wang, teach me. The tea brick that Ji Yanli bought for thousands or even tens of thousands was successfully tossed into the pot and turned into a fragrant cup of milk tea when the courier delivered the cookies and milk tea to the front desk of Ji Corporation. Their workgroup chat exploded. "Oh my God, the CEO's fiancé sent something to Mr. Ji. So sweet. Is this sweetness level off the charts?" After finishing his meeting, Ji Yanli entered his office and spotted the small cookies and milk tea on the coffee table. He took out his phone to check. Zhao Zhao's love-filled cookies and explosively delicious, fragrant, and sweet milk tea. "Please enjoy them slowly, Yang." Ji Yanli immediately took a photo and screenshots. Then posted them together on his social media. "My fiancé's sweet little snacks." When the Ji family saw the post, they clicked their tongues in mild disdain. Yang is really getting nauseatingly mushy in love. Chapter 73. You are my happiness. Upon seeing the little cookie post on social media, Ji Yanli immediately video called Lu Chaochao. Their conversation was so sweet that even Aunt Wang couldn't bear to listen, retreating to the kitchen while shaking her head and chuckling, "Young master. When it comes to love, you're no different from ordinary folks." Leaning back on the sofa, Ji Yanli watched as the soft and sweet Lu Chaochao took a sip of milk tea. "Chaochao, even milk tea isn't as sweet as you." Ji Yanli's smooth talk instantly made Lu Chaochao's face turn red. "Yang, what nonsense are you saying?" Faced with Ji Yanli's affectionate gaze, she shyly moved out of the camera frame. "Chaochao, let me see you. Don't move the phone away." Ji Yanli's body was in the office, but his heart had long returned home. "Everyone at home knows about Zhao Zhao's pregnancy, but I'm not sure if letting his dad come to work is a good idea. Does he really want to skip work? He absolutely doesn't feel like working at all." Ji Yanli's mind is completely filled with the attitude of, "Whoever wants to work this damn job can have it, because I sure as hell don't want to. Zhao Zhao, I really want to see you. Turn the camera around." Assistant Zhu at the door was just about to push open the office door when he accidentally heard Ji Yanli's overly sweet voice, which sent shivers down his spine. Terrified, he quickly hung up a do not disturb sign and fled. Good heavens, President Ji is absolutely terrifying when he's in love. Assistant Zhu was so frightened that his face turned pale. He gulped down 3 mouthfuls of milk tea to calm his nerves. Lu Chaochao and Ji Yanli, who were deeply in love, were completely unaware of their issues. When Lu Chaochao heard Ji Yanli say he missed her, she had no resistance at all. She sweetly said to the camera, "I miss you very much too. Did you like the cookies and milk tea?" Lu Chaochao asked, blinking her almond-shaped eyes. "Of course, anything Zhao Zhao makes is delicious. As long as it was made by Lu Zhao Zhao, even if it were poison, Ji Yanli would willingly drink it. It was all because he couldn't bear to see the disappointment in her eyes. "Then, how about I cook for you whenever I don't have classes? Seeing the person you love eat food you've prepared with your own hands is truly fulfilling and heartwarming." Ji Yanli shook his head as he looked at the adorable expression in her eyes. "I don't want you to work so hard. Being able to enjoy it occasionally is already a blessing. How could one indulge in it every day? Yang, I don't find this to be hardship. On the contrary, it's a kind of happiness." In the past, there were very few people she truly cared about. Aside from her great-grandfather, there was only herself. Her great-grandfather lay bedridden day after day for 10 years, and apart from holding his hand and exchanging a few words, Lu Chaochao could do nothing else for him. She used to be very depressed, with all her emotions bottled up inside, unsure how she was so lucky to meet Ji Yanli. But she also showed him through her actions. She loved him deeply. The little one's eyes were filled with seriousness. How could Ji Yanli possibly refuse? "From now on, let's work together to be better." Lu Chaochao smiled with satisfaction. Their video call didn't last much longer, as Assistant Zhu couldn't hold back any longer and knocked on the office door, calling out cautiously and politely, "Ahem. President Ji, the regional head of the Western District is waiting for you in the meeting. Whoever wants to work this damn job can have it, with all his money. Why should he still suffer the hardships of a 9-to-5? Ji Yanli hung up the video call with a sullen expression, then strode out of the office door with a cold face. Assistant Zhu, feeling rather bold, followed behind, secretly starting to complain in his heart. How come the big boss acts so differently in front of people versus behind their backs? so they don't deserve to see his smiling face. Heir. At noon, Lu Chaochao had some mushroom-stuffed shrimp paste, dry-fried beef brisket, and a portion of stir-fried cabbage, along with her unwavering daily dose of milk and bird's nest. Eat more bird's nest, it'll make the baby very beautiful in the future. Lu Chaochao didn't quite agree with this. Auntie Wang, with me and Yang being so good-looking, even without eating bird's nest, our baby will still be very beautiful. Auntie Wang was taken aback for a moment, then burst into laughter. Miss Chaochao, you're absolutely right about that. The little girl was very happy to be praised. At the Ji family's old residence, Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shualan stood in front of a bedroom, giving instructions. This is the bedroom where my future daughter-in-law will rest, so please make sure to use mainly pink tones or warm colors. As for the bed, replace it with that most popular princess bed from Europe. Yang Yuqiong flipped through the tablet to show the designer the photos. I've already asked the butler to make the reservation. It should be delivered to the country soon. The designer looked at the 7 zeros on the tablet. Even if he worked for wealthy families for another 100 years, spending 7 million on a bed still seemed unbelievable to him. Alright, the bed was expensive, and his fees weren't cheap either. Working for 2 or 3 years would still allow him to buy such a bed. Tian Shualan added another sentence. This room was previously occupied by my grandson alone. Now that his wife will be moving in, it might feel a bit cramped, so we need to knock through the wall next door. The designer looked at the 150 square meter bedroom. Is this considered small? Knock down one wall and it becomes 300 square meters, doesn't it? Whose bedroom takes up 300 square meters anyway? A girl needs a walk-in closet, a jewelry cabinet, and a room for afternoon tea. All these must be taken into account. Yang Yuqiong nodded. And the play area, a child would definitely love to play there. Tian Shualan suddenly had an idea and added, and the nursery, that can't be left out. A mother can't be separated from her baby, so the nursery must be placed next to their bedroom. Yes, the nursery. Mentioning the nursery made Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shualan feel upset. They really wanted to meet Lu Chaochao and give her belly a gentle touch. After all, inside was the future eldest son or daughter of the Ji family, whose status was undeniably significant. Sigh. Both the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law couldn't help but sigh, channeling all their passion and love into decorating. As they spoke, they instructed the butler to note down all the items they needed to purchase. If the list grew too long, they wondered if they could charter a private plane to bring everything back at once. The designer went from shock to numbness. Seeing even the largest numbers as just a string of zeros, all he knew was that after working for the Ji family, his own worth would rise a notch in the future. The Ji family's old residence began to bustle with activity. The entire Taihe royal garden also came alive with excitement. When it comes to famous villa districts in Kyoto, there are only a few well-known names that come to mind, but the truly luxurious, extravagant, and prestigious villa districts where the elite reside are names ordinary people would never know, and of course, no news outlet would dare report about them online. After all, the wealthy people living here come from families that have been rich for at least 4 generations, and they value privacy above all else. The same goes for Taihe Yubian. Those who live there are either wealthy or noble, with the Ji family subtly occupying the highest echelon. Even the slightest movement from them can attract others' attention, let alone something as significant as a renovation. So when Ji Yuncheng and Ji Xingyi went out to play golf, someone who saw how happy they were couldn't resist offering a compliment. I heard your son's wedding is coming up soon, isn't it? Ji Xingyi laughed so hard that wrinkles appeared. Ha ha ha, he just successfully proposed. But for the actual marriage, we still need the girl's consent. The crowd was shocked. Which young lady could be so proud that she'd need to think twice about marrying into the Ji family? Is she blind or what? No, it's your esteemed son who needs to consider. Which young lady would need to think twice? Ji Yuncheng shook his head with profound wisdom. Yanli is just an ordinary person too, isn't he? It's you who have placed too much of a halo around him. How could he just get married or engaged whenever he feels like it? Don't forget. He's just an ordinary man who was rejected once before succeeding on his second proposal. Another trending topic emerged on Weibo. Shocking. CEO G actually had to propose twice before succeeding. Did he manage to invite a celestial fairy down from the heavens? Chapter 74. Did President G get robbed at home? During the afternoon break, Lu Chaojiao overheard a conversation between classmates. Hey, did any of you go to G's group's company Weibo to enter the lottery last night? Asked female classmate no. One excitedly. Of course I commented. That's 2 million we're talking about. If I win the draw, that's a solid 4,000 right there. Said male classmate no. 2. Rich people date differently. I hesitate over spending 52 yuan on a hoodie, while they can flaunt their love with 2 million. Lu Chaojiao heard it all and smiled inwardly. Propping her head up, she unconsciously pricked up her ears, curious to hear what else her classmates would say. After all, netizens' comments can never match the excitement of a live broadcast. President G has single-handedly raised the bar for wealthy families' romance standards. Let's see if any celebrities still try to cling to rich second-generation heirs, claiming it's true love even after having kids. Just wait for their faces to get slapped. Who doesn't love a good piece of gossip? Holy shit. Check out Weibo's trending topics. Turns out President G had to propose twice before succeeding. Oh my god. No wonder he brought out the grandparents and parents. He'd already failed once before. Lu Chaojiao's eyes suddenly widened in shock. What? Which part had she missed? How did the marriage proposal involve Yang's grandparents and parents? Which piece of gossip had she failed to catch last night? It wasn't Lu Chaojiao's fault for being careless. She had been having dinner with Ji Yanli all evening yesterday, fell asleep right after leaving the Western restaurant, and was caught by Aunt Wang for a proper breakfast as soon as she woke up this morning, then happily made some cookies. The longer Lu Chaojiao stayed with Ji Yanli, the more her phone addiction gradually faded away. Where would she find time to see things about the elders of the Ji family? Upon hearing this, she immediately took out her phone, logged into Weibo, and found Yang Yuqiong's video still trending on the hot search list. She trembled as she clicked on it, and after watching the video, her mind went completely blank, her face burned crimson, and she stared straight ahead with dazed eyes. Who could tell her why, when Yang proposed to her, could his grandfather and father calmly provide musical accompaniment for them? And grandma? She covered her face, wishing she could dig a hole and bury herself. She actually dressed up as a chef to deliver desserts to her, and that's not all, she even sang afterward to add romance. Oh, and Yang's mom, she actually danced on the side. She naively thought everything was arranged by Ji Yanli, never imagining he had arranged for his own family members to do it. Lu Chaojiao felt like 10,000 grass-mud horses were galloping through her mind. Her face turned red all the way down to her neck, so red that her deskmate worriedly patted her shoulder. Lu Chaojiao, are you okay? Your face looks like it's completely flushed. Lu Chaojiao slowly turned her head. I'm fine, I'm just too shocked. Shocked to the point of being breathless. Yuqiong, can you act a bit more normal? Chaojiao couldn't possibly recognize us. You need to stay calm. At the entrance of Shanghua University, Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shualan couldn't bear the longing in their hearts and secretly came to Lu Chaojiao's school, hoping to catch another glimpse of her. The mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, dressed in mink coats and sunglasses, leaned elegantly against the car, but Yang Yuqiong grew increasingly anxious. Fidgeting restlessly, Mom, what if Yanli sees us? How are we going to explain this? She had no idea where her son got his stubborn personality from. She was his mother, yet she wasn't even allowed to meet his fiancé. How unreasonable was that? It was rare for any girl to like him. Yang Yuqiong thought with a hint of disdain, what if Zhao Zhao recognizes us and gets so excited she hurts herself? Yanli would be furious, wouldn't he? The older the son gets, the less authority a mother has. Yang Yuqiong really misses the Ji Yanli from before he turned 12 at this moment. Tian Shualan adjusted her sunglasses and said, "What's there to fear? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Since we're already here, we must meet the person no matter what. If you don't come soon, she'll be lovesick." Her mind was filled with thoughts of her future granddaughter-in-law, and of course, the great-grandchild in her belly. She was currently the most precious treasure of the Ji family. Tian Shuilan was so excited that she couldn't wait to whisk the young girl home the moment she saw her again. After all, only by keeping him under her watchful eye could she feel completely at ease. Lu Chaochao had no idea that her future mother-in-law and grandmother had been waiting anxiously at the school gate for a long time, just to catch a glimpse of her. After class, she held her phone, wanting to ask Ji Yanli about his family, but she felt too embarrassed to bring it up, her face scrunched up in distress. And the bodyguard sister even walked over to her and said, "Miss Lu, the road is slippery with snow, could you please put away your phone and focus on walking?" Lu Chaochao snapped out of her thoughts and, feeling a bit embarrassed, quickly tucked her phone into her pocket. "Sorry, I was lost in thought just now." The female bodyguard shook her head expressionlessly, but her eyes watched her even more intently, hands at the ready. If she were to slip and fall absent-mindedly, they would protect her safety without hesitation. Lu Chaojiao arrived at the school gate accompanied by her 2 bodyguard sisters. Ji Yanli had already messaged her, saying he would be 10 minutes late and she could wait a little longer in the classroom. But feeling stifled, she came out early and waited quietly. Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shuilan excitedly clasped each other's hands. She's out, so beautiful. Look, Mom, her face is even smaller than my palm." Tian Shuilan nodded vigorously. Though she had already known how stunning her future granddaughter-in-law was yesterday, she was still dazzled today. Yanli is so inconsiderate. Why didn't he arrive early, making his fiancée wait for him in the cold wind like this? Yang Yuqiong felt her mother-in-law was absolutely right. Though Yanli is clever, he's still a decade behind others when it comes to matters of the heart. We'll just have to remind him more often in the future. As the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law chatted, they couldn't resist snapping photos of Lu Chaochao with their phones. Little did they know, while taking pictures, a young student accidentally wandered into the frame. Lu Chaochao was looking down at her phone when suddenly everything went dark before her eyes. Thinking it was Ji Yanli arriving to surprise her, she looked up excitedly, only to find an unfamiliar face staring back at her. She was puzzled. Is there something you need?" The young man standing before her appeared somewhat nervous and shy. Remembering his roommate's words, he mustered up the courage to present his gift. "Senior Lu Chaojiao. I'm Song Zhila from the mathematics department. I've known about you since I first enrolled, and I really admire you. Could I add you on WeChat?" Ji Yanli was on his way to Shanghua University when he received a voice message and a photo from his mother on WeChat. Before he could open the photo, he listened to the voice message first. Son, where are you? Your house is about to be stolen." Chapter 75, Calling by Full Name. Lu Chaojiao widened her eyes as she looked at the boy before her. Well, if she wasn't mistaken, she was facing another confession, wasn't she? Not that she was narcissistic, but sometimes the looks inherited from her parents really made it easy to be liked. In the past, Lu Chaojiao would avoid confessions whenever possible. But now, with Ji Yanli in the picture, all she could do was apologize. "Sorry, Lu Chaojiao's words were cut short as the 2 women firmly grabbed her arms. "Oh dear, Chaojiao. Why are you still here? Mom has been waiting for you for so long." The bodyguard sister was about to intervene when Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shuilan appeared, but then remembered the information Ji Yanli had provided. Tian Shuilan and the others happened to be inside. Her guard, which had just been raised, immediately dropped, and she simply stared at the young man. What if he became angry and humiliated after a failed confession? Meanwhile, Lu Chaochao was stunned when Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shuilan each took her by the arm. What on earth is going on? Why are Ji Yanli's grandmother and mother appearing in front of her? And of all times, they had to witness the scene of her being confessed to by someone else. What kind of dramatic mess is this? Lu Chaojiao screamed inwardly. She felt that ever since meeting Ji Yanli, she often encountered situations that made her want to scream and shout. As for Yang Yuqiong facing the confessor, she was like a mother hen protecting her chicks, eager to spread her wings and shield Lu Chaojiao beneath them. This was her sweet and well-behaved daughter-in-law, and she had to protect her. Tian Shuilan felt the same way. Lu Chaojiao was her granddaughter-in-law. After all, her grandson had only fallen in love once in 30 years. And anyone who dared to try to steal her away would have to step over her dead body first. Chow Chow, Grandma will take you to the banquet later. We need to leave early to get dressed up, or we'll be late. As Qian Shualan held Lu Chow Chow's small hand, she couldn't help but think how beautiful her granddaughter-in-law was, with such soft hands, clearly a good girl. No wonder her grandson adored her. She had only seen her once yesterday, but she already liked her immensely. Good girl. Mommy will help you into the car. Don't slip. The confessing boy was already stunned when Yang Yuqiong and Qian Shualan appeared, hearing what they said. His face turned even redder, and after mumbling something, he fled in a hurry. Wait, how come he never heard that Lu Chao's family was so wealthy? How come her mother and grandmother looked so dignified and extraordinary? That full-length mink coat must have cost a fortune. Ah! The young man grabbed his head and ran off. Confessing your feelings in front of elders is really awkward. So awkward. Lu Chaojiao, left behind, was still in a daze in the snow, her mind filled with questions. Where was she? What was she doing? How should she greet them now? Fortunately, the heavens heard Lu Chaojiao's prayers. As Ji Yanli arrived at the entrance of Tsinghua University in what seemed like a flying car, as soon as he got out of the car, he saw his mother and grandmother standing like triumphant generals, looking down at him with their noses in the air. Oh, Mr. Ji, you finally showed up. You're so busy that you left my daughter-in-law standing in the snow catching a cold. Can you even afford to compensate for that? Humph, Yang Yuqiong snorted. Lu Chaojiao roared, what the hell is all this? Yanli, Chaojiao is still a young girl. At her age, she should be taken care of more. How could you make her wait for you? Your grandfather never once made me wait in his entire life. Ji Yanli's temples throbbed violently, so all the words he had said earlier were completely wasted. His family still took advantage of his absence by Lu Chaojiao's side to secretly come and see him. Not only did they come, but they also acted so self-righteous about it. Ji Yanli was so angry that his face turned expressionless. Chaojiao, come here. Lu Chaojiao practically sprinted into Ji Yanli's arms, then kept repeating, what should I do? What should I do? Yang, what should I do? Holding onto his sleeve, she was so nervous she could barely function. Ji Yanli comfortingly held her hand and said, don't be nervous, leave everything to me, just stay close by my side. Lu Chaojiao felt like she'd forgotten how to smile. Standing beside Ji Yanli, she awkwardly managed a greeting. Grandma, Auntie, I'm Lu Chaojiao, Yang's girlfriend. It's nice to meet you. Fortunately, she had checked Weibo in the afternoon. Otherwise, not recognizing them and still thinking they were a chef and a dancer would have been troublesome. Chaojiao, let me correct you. She's my fiancée, not my girlfriend, Ji Yanli explained, then tightly held Lu Chaojiao's small hand. His tone was rather indifferent, even slightly cold, as he said, Grandma, Mom, it's cold outside. Can we go inside to the restaurant before introducing everyone properly? Yang Yuqiong and Qian Shualan were already extremely satisfied after meeting the person, and they hadn't expected to have a meal together afterward. How could they possibly refuse Ji Yanli's suggestion? Great, great. Let's eat. Chaojiao should definitely eat more now. Ha 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 ha. After waiting for so many years, the Ji family finally has an heir. Ha 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 ha. Yang Yuqiong and Qian Shualan practically danced their way back to the car. Meanwhile, Ji Yanli pulled Lu Chaojiao into the car, fastened her seatbelt, and without explaining yesterday's incident, instead asked with a displeased expression, did someone just confess to you? Oh, so now we're settling accounts. When Ji Yanli saw the WeChat message, he genuinely wished he could lock Lu Chaojiao by his side at that moment. How could anyone else dare to covet what's his? Lu Chaojiao's eyes darted around nervously. She knew Ji Yanli was jealous, so she playfully tugged at his sleeve. Then am I not pretty? It's only natural someone would confess to me. Lu Chaojiao tugged at his sleeve, twisting and turning. Don't be angry, okay? Besides you, I don't fancy anyone else anyway. Ji Yanli snorted, pinched Lu Chaojiao's chin, and said fiercely, I really want to lock you up at home, where only I can see you. Ji Yanli's words were sincere, but Lu Chaojiao didn't believe them. Because she knew her Yang would never hurt her, she said sweetly, no way, you can't even cook well. What if I get locked at home and starve thin? Ji Yanli's full-blown jealousy dissipated instantly as the young girl coquettishly played cute. His hand began to caress Lu Chaochao's face, his tone softening considerably. And the dark expression on his face fading away. How could my Jiao Jiao be so adorable? It should be his people, right? Lu Chaochao happily shook her head. Anyway, I like Yang the most too. You're so sweet-talking. Have you been sneaking a lot of sugar behind my back? Ji Yanli lowered his head and planted a kiss, lightly pecking twice. You've had quite a bit of milk tea. Hasn't Auntie Wang been keeping an eye on you? Auntie Wang's heart had long been won over by Lu Chaochao, treating her like her own child, though she knew it wasn't good. Seeing her happy made her reluctant to stop her. Just 2 cups then. Lu Chaochao covered her mouth and chuckled, but the smile faded as she thought of Yang Yuqiong and the others. Ji Yanli, why didn't you tell me your grandparents and parents were all there last night? I feel so embarrassed thinking about it now. Woo-woo, you all looked so well dressed in the video, while I was the only one who didn't know and cried like a fool. Ji Yanli, you're such a bad guy. Lu Chaochao was becoming more and more spoiled as she grew older. When angry, she dared to call Ji Yanli by his full name, which oddly gave him a sense of returning to their school days. Chapter 76. Abducting someone right in front of CEO Ji. Driver Xiao Zhao's hands trembled again when Lu Chaochao shouted Ji Yanli's full name. Well, after working for so many years without any surprises. Ever since Lu Chaochao appeared, the number of shocks he's experienced has been increasing. What a headache. In Ji Yanli's eyes, Lu Chaochao's anger was utterly adorable. He found it amusing, but he also knew that laughing now would likely earn him a playful punch from her little pink fists, though it wouldn't hurt. The tingling sensation from her hits would still leave him feeling uncomfortable. He could only cough and pretend to be serious as he spoke. Well, at first I didn't know they would act like this. Ji Yanli briefly described the situation and then coaxed the little one with sweet words. Chaochao, my family really likes you, which is why they secretly wanted to meet you. Think about it. They also want to be part of such an important moment and leave a beautiful memory. Right, Lu Chaojiao looked at Ji Yanli, finding it hard to imagine that there could be others in the world who would like her. Like her so much that they can't wait to meet her. Like her so much that they would appear at her proposal ceremony even without revealing their identity. Netizens were so moved after watching the video, let alone her as the person involved. At this moment, she had countless indescribable feelings in her heart. A bittersweet numbness mixed with joy. Do Grandma and Auntie really like me? Ji Yanli nodded. They will naturally love the girl I love. Chaochao, don't be afraid anymore. I once said that you not only have the baby as family, but also me and my family to love you. You are no longer the lonely and helpless Chaochao from before. Half an hour later, Lu Chaochao sat beside Ji Yanli, shyly beginning to truly get to know his family. Hello Grandma, I'm Lu Chaochao, Yang's fiancé. Lu Chaochao's hand was gently squeezed by Ji Yanli, as if to say, you're doing great. She tilted her little face up proudly. Meanwhile, Tian Shuilan was now filled with regret. For this formal meeting with her future granddaughter-in-law, she had actually forgotten to prepare a welcoming gift. What if Chaochao thought she didn't like her? Tian Shuilan held Lu Chaochao's hand, unsure of what to do in her heart, yet her face beamed with kindness and warmth. Chaochao, it's such a pleasure to meet you. As she spoke, she slipped off a jade bracelet from her wrist. This bracelet has been with me for decades. Grandma came out in a hurry and didn't bring you a gift. So you can wear this bracelet for now. When you come to our home, you can pick anything you like from my jewelry cabinet. Lu Chaochao was not someone who lacked discernment or appreciation for fine things. When her grandmother and mother were alive, they had also bought quite a few jade bracelets. The better quality ones easily cost several million. And she had a few of those too, but unfortunately, they were all taken by Xiao Jingxian and Lu Qingqing. Grandma, this is too precious. I can't accept it. Lu Chaochao refused. Tian Shuilan wouldn't allow Lu Chaochao to refuse and directly slipped the bracelet onto her wrist. Nothing is too precious when it comes to you. Chaochao, in Grandma's heart, you're the most important. Lu Chaochao's eyes reddened slightly as she looked at the crystal-clear, watery jade bracelet on her wrist. Instinctively glancing at Ji Yanli, it's all Grandma's heartfelt gift, you should accept it. Lu Chaochao gave an of acknowledgement, then said to Tian Shuilan, thank you, Grandma, I really like this bracelet and will take good care of it in the future. Tian Shuilan clutched her chest. She had always said the family needed a girl. A soft, sweet girl was so much better than those stiff, unyielding sons and grandsons. Lu Chaojiao before her was truly delightful. A bright-eyed little girl who spoke with such sincerity that Tian Shuilan couldn't help but adore her. There are plenty more at home. If Jiao Jiao likes them, why not come home with me? There are many nannies and aunties at home who can take care of you. Ji Yanli was displeased. How could someone try to lure her away right in front of him? Grandma, Ji Yanli was now like a passing cloud. Tian Shuilan didn't want to pay him any attention, and neither did Yang Yuqiong. She rolled her eyes at him and directly sat beside Lu Jiaojiao, taking off her pearl necklace and placing it around her neck. Auntie. Lu Chaoqiao touched the necklace in surprise. Yang Yuqiong looked at Lu Chaoqiao with adoration, holding her small hand. This necklace isn't worth much, but what's rare is that it was blessed at Baoguang Temple. It can protect you and your child, keeping you both safe and sound. Lu Chaoqiao instinctively touched her belly. She might not care about other things, but when it came to protecting the baby in her womb, she couldn't bring herself to refuse. Auntie, thank you. Yang Yuqiong looked at the little girl's adorable eyes, her own eyes turning red instantly. Chaoqiao, it's Auntie who should be thanking you. Carrying a baby is really uncomfortable, isn't it? Yang Yuqiong shot another fierce glare at Ji Yanli. Clearly, it's the man's fault, yet it's always the woman who suffers. She wanted a grandson, that was true. But seeing a young girl barely 20 years old, who hadn't even finished her studies, forced into motherhood prematurely because of her son's mistake, still made her feel uneasy. Putting herself in their shoes, if Lu Chaoqiao's mother were here, she would undoubtedly be heartbroken. Lu Chaoqiao, however, shook her head and said to Yang Yuqiong with great determination, Auntie, I'm happy to have the baby too, though it's a little tough. With Yang taking care of me, all the hardship disappears. What does a man who's never been in love know about taking care of others? Yang Yuqiong had no desire to look at her son, whose face was as dark and cold as ice. Jiao Jiao, how about going home with Auntie? Just like Grandma said, we have 7 or 8 chefs at home, both local and international. They can make anything you'd like to eat. There are also many aunties and nannies to take care of your daily needs. I've already asked the housekeeper to redecorate Yanli's bedroom, and I'm sure you'll love it when you see it. So, how about coming home with Auntie? Let me take care of you. Okay, Ji Yanli's good looks are definitely inherited from his parents, so Yang Yuqiong was also a stunning beauty in her youth. Even now in her 50s, she looks more like she's in her 30s, resembling Ji Yanli's sister rather than his mother. When such a beauty pitifully says she wants to take care of you, how would your heart react? It must be beating wildly. Lu Chaoqiao was the same, even blushing a little, feeling too embarrassed to look at Yang Yuqiong. Ji Yanli's temples throbbed with tension. His grandmother and mother were practically abducting someone right in front of him. His fiancée actually blushed at his mother. Is there any justice in this world? After her Jiao Jiao returns to the old house, will there still be a place for him by her side? Every day, his grandmother and mother might monopolize her, leaving him unable to squeeze in. Even his grandfather and father might try to steal the spotlight in front of his Jiao Jiao. He has to work every day and already spends little time with the little one. If this continues, won't his place in the child's heart be in jeopardy? So, Ji Yanli didn't want such a thing to happen. Chapter 77. The heartache of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. In reality, Ji Yanli wasn't overthinking. This was precisely why he had always been reluctant to bring Lu Chaoqiao home. Because he knew that once Lu Chaoqiao returned home with him, the person standing by her side would no longer be him. For instance, right now, he was still sitting beside Lu Chaoqiao when, in the next second, his grandmother yanked him aside with one hand, her tone laced with unmistakable disdain. Yanli, go sit somewhere else for now. I want to bond with my granddaughter-in-law. With that, she turned to Lu Chaoqiao with a beaming, affectionate smile, not sparing Ji Yanli so much as a glance. Ji Yanli closed his eyes and took a deep breath. It's fine. As long as he insists on not bringing the little one home, Chaoqiao will still be his Chaoqiao. Lu Chaoqiao was seated between Tian Shuilan and Yang Yuqiong, both of whom looked at her with extremely affectionate eyes. as the waiter served the dishes. Tian Shualan was the first to take a plate of steak, carefully cutting it into small pieces with a knife before placing it in front of Lu Chaochao. Here, Chaochao. The steak here was airlifted fresh from abroad this morning. It might have still been grazing last night. It's especially tender. Try it and see if you like it. Okay. Tian Shualan was nearly 70 years old, and laughter inevitably brought wrinkles to the corners of her eyes, yet she remained beautiful. Time does not conquer true beauty, and Lu Chaojiao looked at her with the same warmth as she would her own grandmother. It's really delicious. Thank you, Grandma. Lu Chaojiao said sincerely, genuinely enjoying it. She always prefers her steak well done, but poorly executed well-done steaks often result in tough, dry meat when the heat isn't controlled properly, ruining what should be tender beef. But this restaurant is different. The chef is highly skilled, catering to local tastes without compromising the natural freshness of the ingredients. In short, she really liked it. Tian Shualan smiled even more happily, continuously cutting the steak for her. If you like it, eat more. We also have foreign chefs at home. If Chaochao enjoys it, you can have it every day until you get tired of it. Ji Yanli took a sip of red wine in frustration. Upon hearing Tian Shualan's words, he instinctively put on a stern face and retorted, Zhao Zhao needs to eat more vegetables. How can he have steak every day? Tian Shualan's eyes widened. The grandson who had once seemed so adorable in her eyes now appeared to have lost his filter, no longer quite as cute, and even a bit annoying. He clearly has someone he likes, even has a child. Yet he remains silent. Isn't it just because he's afraid these old guys will compete with him for that person? Since you're already on guard, don't blame this old woman for not considering family ties anymore. Does our home really lack Zhao Zhao's vegetables? Tian Shualan glanced at Ji Yanli, then spoke to Lu Zhaojiao in a coaxing tone as if talking to a child. Zhaojiao, we've started growing organic vegetables at home. You can have any vegetable you want. Do you know what freshly grown cucumbers and tomatoes look like? They're absolutely beautiful under the sunlight. You can just reach out, pick them, and eat them right away. The flavor is exceptionally fresh. The purest taste of nature needs not a single bit of seasoning. The crisp fragrance of cucumber and the sweet-sour burst of tomato bloom in your mouth. The older generation has a deep fondness for things freshly harvested from the land. And the way she described the taste made Lu Chaochao's mouth water instantly. After just a couple more bites of the steak in her bowl, she suddenly felt it was too greasy. Yang Yuqiong immediately noticed her issue. Chaochao. Feeling a bit overwhelmed by the greasiness, she quickly picked up a piece of broccoli with her chopsticks. Quick, Chaochao, have some vegetables to ease the craving. Lu Chaochao looked at the broccoli in her bowl, not wanting to disappoint Yang Yuqiong's kindness. She took a bite but still wasn't quite satisfied. The unresolved craving left her feeling restless and uncomfortable. Chaochao, what's wrong? Don't you like any of the dishes on the table? Yang Yuqiong finished speaking and glared fiercely at her son. These dishes were all ordered by Ji Yanli. As Lu Chaochao's fiancé, he actually ordered a bunch of food that a young girl wouldn't like. He really deserved a beating. No. Lu Chaochao saw Yang Yuqiong seemingly blaming her Yang, and she became a little anxious. Quickly waving her hand to indicate, I usually love these dishes. It's just, she glanced at Tian Shualan somewhat sheepishly. Grandma just mentioned cucumbers and tomatoes, and I suddenly really want to eat them. Yang Yuqiong slapped the table. Hey, Chaochao, you should have said so earlier. There's nothing difficult about this. I'll just have someone deliver it. With that, she immediately called the family butler, instructing him to go pick vegetables from the farm and deliver them to their current dining location. The whole process took less than a minute to arrange, so fast that Lu Chaochao found it unbelievable. After hanging up, Yang Yuqiong took Lu Chaochao's hand and said, Chaochao, you are Yanli's fiancé, and from now on, we are all your family, so whatever you want, as long as our family can provide it, I promise it will appear before you in the next second. Lu Chaochao didn't realize when she had started to tear up. Ji Yanli's family was far better than she had imagined, so good that she even wondered if all of this was just a dream. How can there be such warm-hearted people in the world? The feelings Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shualan brought her were different from those Ji Yanli did. They were elders, offering warmth and care like a gentle breeze, like a mother or grandmother caring for her. I understand. Lu Chaoxiao's tears had already begun to fall, making Ji Yanli's heart ache so much that he clenched his hands tightly. It's all the Lu family's fault. His Chaoxiao should have been carefree, basking in everyone's affection. Why should she be so overwhelmed with gratitude to the point of tears for just a little bit of tenderness? Yang Yuqiong gently wiped the tears from the corner of her eye with a tissue. A girl's tears are pearls, so precious. From now on, all of us will take care of you together, so don't cry anymore, okay? Tian Shualan also held her hand and said, "Come, Cao Cao, you must be exhausted after a whole day of classes, right? Make sure to eat more dishes to replenish your nutrients." With that, she picked out some fish for her. "This is sea bass, it's boneless. You should eat more fish since you're carrying a baby." Lu Chaoxiao looked at the fish on her plate and said, "All right, I'll eat more then." Yang Yuqiong added some vegetables to her plate and continued, "But don't overeat either, you're still in the early stages of pregnancy, so eating a bit more is fine. But later on, when you're further along, you'll need to control your diet, understand?" Lu Chaoxiao was only 20 years old after all, and knew nothing about pregnancy. She blinked her innocent big eyes, instantly charming the three people present. Ji Yanli's face was full of tenderness. His Chaoxiao was already so adorable, so much so that his entire heart belonged to her. Tian Shualan and Yang Yuqiong, holding their cheeks, wished they could immediately abduct the little girl and take her home to meticulously care for her. As the months progress, if you supplement too much nutrition, the baby will become too big, and you'll suffer greatly during childbirth. A mother-in-law and a mother are not the same. A mother is particularly concerned about her daughter's well-being, hoping everything prioritizes her daughter's health, but a mother-in-law, for the most part, wishes for the well-being of the baby in the womb, with all thoughts directed toward the child. Over time, this can lead to neglecting the mother's physical and emotional feelings, which is how many cases of postpartum depression arise. Both Yang Yuqiong and Tian Shualan are no longer young. As experienced individuals, while they value the child, what truly pains them is the person. Lu Chaoxiao, thinking of her mother's early passing, the knowledge and common sense the girl should have received from her mother as she grew up, she could only obtain from books. A wave of bitterness welled up in their hearts. If Lu Chaoxiao were their daughter or granddaughter, getting pregnant so young, they would surely have beaten Ji Yanli to death. But now, as the elders on the man's side, they certainly couldn't beat their own son or grandson to death, could only lavish extra love and care on Lu Chaoxiao, giving her everything they could offer and do for her. Thank you for watching. This is a long-form novel. Friends who want to see the continuation, please leave a comment below saying looking forward to the next part, or give the video a like. I'll update promptly based on your feedback. See you next time.